Yes, yes, yes. Mm. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mm. Probably next week, my ass will be go do some kind of work and shit. But y'all notice something? Y'all can hear me. Let me see if I can hear myself. Y'all asses be in and out, ducking in the cubicles when the people from work and shit. Let me do my own sound check. Let me do my own sound check. Yep, I can hear me. So that means you can hear me. What's good with it? What's good with it? What's good with it? Regina White and Cool BJ and everybody that's looking in the window. Yeah. So, let me tell y'all something. Do you know that if you cut out some foolish shit and and, and some of y'all whoever can do budgets, I can't do them. Okay, that's not how I can live. But the people that can do budget, oh look at Regina still know what to do. The thumbs up, yeah. I ain't said that shit in so long. I forgot how to do goddamn my sound check. Oh shit. But do you know that you can save so much motherfucking money and then make room for the bullshit that you really need to buy, like some pocketbooks and shit. Because I looked at it. If I'm averaging like 600 plus a month on goddamn takeout food, do you know that's 7,020 $7,200 at the end of the year? The fuck? That's not including your goddamn grocery bill and shit like that. What the hell is going on? What's up, peace and love? What's up, peace and love? Y'all, listen. I had to look at some things. So, oh boy. Mm, 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 mm. Hey, DJ Amazing. What's good with it? So, listen. A couple things we're going to talk about today. But one thing I'm convinced of is that between Levi and Lifetime, we're going to jail. They ain't they not gonna stop till they put our ass in jail. Levi gonna be like, Miss Walker, you know I like you and everything, but you got to go to prison. You're going to jail. I'm like, for what, Levi? I don't know, but you're going to jail. They'll find some shit on your ass when you get down there. God damn. Woo! Miss Mo, yeah, I got your message, honey. Yes, yes, honey. So they made it. Lifetime made it abundantly clear of what the deal was. They are, listen here, pushing for some more motherfuckers to go on down the drain. Okay, they ain't with it. So I had to take shit. All these you between that, the Tasha K and the Tasha, call and shit, and I can freestyle about the BOP shit because that's illegal. But these other two things, surviving and that other thing, I had to take notes. Mm-hmm. What's up, Hammer Time? So, whew, all right. That surviving shit. Like I said, they made it abundantly clear what their focus is on right now. Of course, Lifetime always knows some shit that we don't know. And you look at the people that work when you look at the people that in the documentary, right? You gotta think about it. All of those people got a damn near direct line to the motherfucking people, the popo. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Just about all of them. Because all of them either sat down and talked to the popo or sat down and talked to the Lifetime, which is, a media version of the popo at this point. So, shit. Yes. And they focused on and I'm just going to make a comparison, right? They painted of course, they was going to paint what they consider survivors in a positive light, but look who they was painting in a negative light. You motherfuckers from this sector. Oh shit, you motherfuckers. That's what they was doing. I got it loud and clear. So if any strangers come in here, make sure y'all let me know so we can change this over to our channel by James Harris. Hell, let me tell you something. You goddamn right I'm willing to throw James Harris on the bus. Shit. By the time his slow ass communicate with Lifetime that he ain't got nothing to do with this channel, all this bullshit here. His ass been done got locked up and we be somewhere on a damn plane going to somewhere where they can't ship us back to America. Y'all gonna get us all locked up. Lifetime and Levi, we all going into prison. Mm-hmm. Yes. And Jamaican Janet, Lord, they keep focusing on Jamaican Janet. Like, Lord have mercy. I like Jamaican Janet, though. Jamaican Janet is funny. She don't know nothing else. I don't think she be harassing nobody, whatever. All she know is free R. Kelly and what you said about DJ? DJ Tyson, it ain't nothing to be fucked with. Yes. That's all she know. Shit. Oh, shit. Oh, don't get me Jamaican Janet. Don't get me. Mm-hmm. Hey, Sonya Davis. Yes. But it's clear. They're making a distinction between what they call the survivors and the motherfuckers that's fucking with the survivors. Yeah. So I don't know. Good luck, though. Get your money up. Shit, I know right now I'm going to stop ordering all that bullshit. I got to save my motherfucking money. Because I'm walking in the court with motherfucking goddamn the ghost of Johnny Cochran. Fuck that. I'm leaving that day. Hey, I ain't gonna even have to show up to that damn record date. I'm not. I ain't going down with you, motherfuckers. Nope. I'm showing up with the ghost of Johnny Cochran. Fuck y'all. Y'all can figure it out. Hey, at least I know the people that tune in over here that come through here. I know that they motherfucking ass to be able to look at that indictment. This ain't right. One of them elements. Goddamn elements. This ain't right. Y'all lying. I ain't do none of this. Nope. Y'all can be able to assist in y'all own defense and shit. I'm telling you right now, I'm coming in with the ghost of Johnny Cochran. You goddamn right. The hell I'm going to do. This shit is crazy. So let me see. So, what did they say about? I hate doing lives with notes and shit. This is something I don't do. I had to take notes off that surviving and that call. Okay. I guess I can remember some of this. I can't read my own handwriting. So when no, that's what Tasha K said in her thing with that lady. So that's not what I'm talking about. The Ebony girl, the girl in the blue, who I was wondering, like, who the hell is that? The girl in the blue. I don't know where she came out of, where she come from, or whatever, but she gave a timeline of when she was, you know, um, with allegedly with R. Kelly, right? And her story. I mean, it wasn't nothing that I didn't believe or whatever. But it's just that, so I guess sometimes when you're putting this shit together or whatever, I couldn't understand the times, the back and forth when she had a big daughter. She said she, was there like right like when she'd have been coming out of school or whatever. And she had a big daughter. She went back. Apparently, she had another little child or whatever. I don't know about the back and forth or whatever. I don't know the time span, the timeline with that. But her story was very, very, you know, my gosh, it was just like you come out of nowhere. Who the fuck is you? Like, so the only thing I got, just caught up on is just the part when she was talking about going back and forth, and she had the little daughter, the big daughter, and when she said that when he allegedly looked at the little daughter in a weird kind of way, she never did bring her daughter around him again. Well, if somebody's looking at your child in a weird kind of way, why would you bring your ass back around them? But I'm not judging or whatever. I'm just saying certain things to me are. I'm trying to tell you, if some dude looking at my child, my old ass child today, and I'm supposed to be with him any kind of motherfucking way, that's a weird motherfucking setup there. And so I ain't gonna be fucking with him. I'm gonna cuss his ass out, probably hit him with my fist, and get the fuck on out the door. That's just me. Um, I was also kind of wondering, because we don't know when that this last installment was filmed, right? Or iterations, what I like to call them. We don't know when it was filmed. So the last we saw take place, and this was in 2022, was that I think that was it Angelo and Tim's kind of relationship wasn't at the best place, or were they on track? I don't think they were on track. I don't know if apology or whatever went on between them two. I don't remember. Right? So don't hold it against me. So because they were in that little in that interview with surviving, acting that what I'm saying. Maybe they put the bigger purpose before the bullshit, and so yeah. Why wasn't Ebony got more money right too, Angela? Trevor Johnson, what is wrong with you, Trevor? You got your money right. Yeah, so um you said, why wasn't Ebony in the trial? Is my question. Her story would have been a big impact, I would have assumed, but I think she knew she would have had to answer some questions. Yeah, yeah. Because and shouts out to Mo, Miss Mo. Shouts out to her with putting the psychological part of this whole shit together. Right? It makes so sense. You remember a long time ago before I even knew that she even existed on these streets. I was saying, with law and psychology, they intersect, intertwine and intersect. The law speaks of the psychology of it all the time when they speak of the mens rea and actus reus, right? So yeah, and amongst other things, right? So I believe that a lot of these women, due to the because you hear a lot of them, they say even what is the Tiffany Hawkins lady? Even she said, she don't like to see them like that. She don't like this happening, this whatever, this, that, and the third, right? Because I believe that some of them haven't processed that they were allegedly abused, and it was something that the law told them that they were. I don't think that they even viewed themselves as that. And that's why that language in the law, when they amended a lot of them and changed it or whatever for different states or what have you, it went back and retroed it or whatever because they realized that some of the psychological effects of not knowing that you're in an abusive relationship. And abuse doesn't have to be physical or whatever. A relationship that's not consensual, you know. And and another thing, it is a fortified way to ensure that you can charge somebody even when the uh, the the alleged victim, I don't want to use accuser in this sense, but alleged victim isn't one willing to come forward, and two doesn't even realize that they were in a non-consensual relationship. So they changed that law, whatever, to make it easy to list those elements and convict your ass based on them elements. If one element, motherfucker was simply under 18 when they was fucking with an adult, check that off the list. And that's just how it works. What's up, Lady Tech? Hey, Trevor, what you saying? You done pissed everybody else off, now you're over here? Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Oh, like, fuck it, what the hell? Oh, I'm feeling good, Lady Tech. Thanks for asking. So, you know, so it's it's a weird, it's a weird situation. But listen, one thing about it, they will they will change some laws and do some bullshit, whatever, to make sure that they can get your ass caught up with the very simplest detail. And if you being under 18 was one of them, okay, well, goddamn, they, halfway there. You know what I'm saying? So, um, what else? What else about Survivor? Because I got more notes about that goddamn call with Tasha versus Tasha. And then we can get into the appeals portion of it because guess what? I got to talk about Larry's little ass. They got him back on the goddamn headline. Unfairly, I might add, but it is what it is. You know, this is crazy. But I don't figured it out. I know what the fuck is going. I knew what the fuck was going on, but I really know what the fuck is going on now. But and so let me see. I felt that if Whitaker, Kitty, and maybe Lizette was felt kind of slighted after they didn't use them in the trial or what have you. But you have to understand when it's overkill, and you could easily say that the New York trial was overkill, but you got to understand they crafted a vehicle using the RICO in order to get him for a lot of shit that he allegedly did, back in the day. So, and to reinforce that, you had to, lay it down a little thick rather than, somebody say they, even though the sexual abuse um, charges or what have you, you can bring them now. It doesn't have an age limit. It could tell there's no statute of limitations or something that says there's no statute of limitations, but it's easier to say, to bring a case to somebody against somebody that may be, you know, committed those crimes like within the last 5 years. When you're going back 30 years, people dead and shit like that or whatever, you're gonna have to lay it on thick, right? So, and they did that. But sometimes you can't go over, because the defense can definitely put in emotion, you know, raise an objection and saying, hey, the just the redundancy, the how you laid it on thick and whatever, you got a whole bunch of people saying pretty much the same thing. We got, I think everybody here got the picture of what you're trying to say, the story you're trying to lay out. That hey, he abuses young girls. So you're trying to lay out. I think we got it after the first 25 people. So but they have to to lay it out, but they couldn't go over and over, and then again, those two women, even though Lizette was allegedly underage, Kitty wasn't, hardcore grown ass woman. So I can see why they didn't use Kitty. Lizette, I don't know about that, but Kitty. So, and okay, so let's get to the what the reporters said they heard when with regards to the 100 devices. Still not 100 devices or what have you. But I told y'all that some of those videos may have got entered in via stipulations, things of that nature, what have you. So I went through the transcripts and to look for the times where they said about, talked about videos, videotaping, things of that nature, whatever. Those things would be on the record. So somewhere throughout the transcript, it would be some reference of maybe a stipulation going in, maybe that was a video, or saying something that this is a video regarding whatever happened. So, so we do know that they saw videos with regards to some type of rough talking, rough talking to some of the girl about some piss and all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? So we do know that they apparently have the transcript of those videotapes of whatever they saw. Now, I'm pretty sure I know it's going to be with the people, but it looks like that the media has a copy of those transcripts as well. So hey, Sylvia, get the copy of them transcripts from the media. Yeah, that shit, or Diva, yeah, get on that. See if you can find them copies of them damn transcripts so we can read it. Let's see if we can get a hold of it. We'll pay. Hell, we will pay. So you need all. I can't be looking up at your goddamn comments. I have to look straight ahead because yeah, damn, y'all crazy as hell. So, um, so there, the tapes detailed a lot of, some form of abuse. You know, it didn't speak of. They didn't say either they didn't say it or they didn't say it enough to where we could say there was a lot of. They watched a lot of child pornography. They didn't say that, or they didn't say it enough. But I'll go back and catch it. I'll go back and and see because I can't remember right now. But so But whatever the jury saw, that was enough. And you know what happened. Now, here's why this surviving thing and this particular iteration of it is crucial, in my opinion. Again, you got the judge that's sitting out there just waiting. Okay. You have Kim Fox that was in the motherfucker, and Kim Fox is still out there. So this is what I'm gonna say about the state case. The only way that state case don't go forward is if one, they lose a few accusers, and two, that judge poses a sentence which will effectively be a life sentence between the two. And you should be nervous about this sentence coming up because when you look at this iteration here, this judge is still out. We know that there's an appeal in, and she's working hard to try to get that appeal to get the verdict appealed, and then he also have a habeas corpus that will go once if the appeal is denied, right? Okay, unlike an appeal, the judge has to hear the habeas corpus. With the appeal, they it's up in the air whether they accept it or not, right? So you got the judge sitting out here listening to all of this shit, and they detail how they were threatened just by coming forward. All they laid it out. The judge is a dude. He has a unique position. Now, if he imposes a sentence that seems to be light, like maybe running 30 years concurrent, that's light. He may be under pressure to impose a sentence that's either, if he runs something concurrent, it's going to be like 60 years, 30 of it's running concurrent. The other 30, you still got to do, that's a life sentence, a death sentence, however you want to look at it. So he has pressure on him to impose a sentence that does what? A month. But the 2 month main things is what? Uphold the law and to, provide protection to the public. So I'll be nervous if y'all are supporters. Mm-hmm. Hold on for 1 minute, y'all. All right. Thank y'all for holding, sir. Thank y'all for holding. Yeah, they said it was a recording. They heard it. Well, right, right. They heard the recording. Right, they heard the recording. So, and I see where it was. It was translated by somebody. Usually, of course the goddamn the popos translated, but the media usually translate them, and I'm pretty sure Lifetime got a copy because it flashed on the screen. Yeah. So the judge, this judge is he got to make he has to make a judgment that's going to be fair to all. But his first allegiance is to justice, right? And if a jury said that someone or someone, some people were victims, then that's how he's going to say. I'm just going to tell you the 100% truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat the shit for you. Because, I don't give, it's just, it is what it is. I don't believe in having my head in la la land, wishing upon a star and shit like that, only to be let down over and over and over again. That does something to your goddamn constitution shit. Your personal constitution, hell. No. I like to know the facts. And from there, you can go into your prayer chambers. I like to know either way, either side. It don't matter to me, either side. When there's a good something for the defense, baby, I'm all too eager to let you know. But when the shit looks like it is what it is, and I personally know a lot of the little nuances and the tricks and the shit, whatever that goes on, I won't tell you how it is. Because I'm compassionate about people's feelings. And I'm a person that respects a person's fight. I don't like a lot of bullshit. But when it's done with common sense in a logical way, yeah, I can support, I ain't gonna say support, but I can respect whatever you believe in. I might disagree with the reasons why you believe in it, but I'm gonna, respect whatever you believe in. This is your belief system. Just like mine is mine. It is what it is. Let me see. Trying to make sure that I don't know why I didn't write down too much about that goddamn surviving shit. Hold on. Make sure. Yeah. Yeah, but one thing about it, you got to take in effect. Lifetime formed a bond with those survivors, those alleged survivors, however you want to look at it. They formed a bond with them. And you also know that they got a bond with the motherfucking popo. Ain't nothing worth this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Getting yourself all fucked up in trouble because of what? Mm-mm. Honestly, y'all might need to move a lot smarter how y'all do things, even when it comes to harassing each other. And it's all when we're all, in this R. Kelly sector shit here. Should be careful. Because you never know. Be careful because you never motherfucking know. I'm just saying, if he gives him 30-year sentence to be run concurrently, and again, based on aggregate sentencing, when it's one federal jurisdiction to another federal jurisdiction, the first consideration is supposed to be consecutive terms. However, the judge can make the decision to run something concurrent. So with all that being in mind, you ain't got to believe my black ass. You harass the lawyers and shit for any other reasons. You ain't got to believe me. Ask them. They'll tell you. And, and based on some of the lawyers that have come out even after me, we've all have pretty much said the same thing. We said it in different ways. We pretty much said the same thing. Even down to the point of, listen here, we ain't saying, we don't pick sides. Maybe a couple of them show that they picked a side. But most of us come out here and say, we don't pick sides. This is what it is. So they came out here after me. So, but I'm just saying. Now, on to this. Let me make sure let me see if y'all saying something about the surviving. Anybody have something to say that I can read off or try to answer real quick? Because pretty much it wasn't not too much in this that we didn't know. I was shocked. Oh, I was shocked to hear about another girl that he was, allegedly with 3 days after the alleged marriage of Aaliyah. I was shocked about that. Oh, yeah, I can talk about some shit. Wait a minute. I know it was something. I got the faces in my head. I was shocked when they said that Carrie, aka Levi, for any of y'all that was forced to try to believe that shit, and what's his name, Bruce, was around, them. It was like, yeah, we know them. Like, huh? They was around. Yeah. Hey, Omar Harris, Angie, what's going on with the BOP emails? Everyone's getting the same email at the same time. Yeah, Omar, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about that extensively. I got to talk about Larry's little ass today. God damn. But they're going to start fucking with Larry. You understand what I'm saying? Because, listen, I know what the fuck is going on. Yes. I'm going to further what I initially said. I'm going to add goddamn to it. Yeah. They got his little ass. They not saying his name, my name all the time, but they damn sure running his likeness. We know the hell you talking about. The fuck? So, but yeah. And if some of y'all know, because it's a question I have, and I don't remember how it went, but what was the answer to it, or if it ever been answered. I think it was answered. It had to been answered. I just don't remember the answer to it. And now let me ask y'all this. I'm gonna tell y'all what it is now, so anybody can tell me. I don't remember if I know it was said that Larry said that he was never given no emails from no Tasha K. But I don't know if Tasha K. I know that allegedly Tasha K. gave the emails to Angelo. I don't know if Angelo gave them to Larry, and I don't remember or recall him reading them on his platform. If he did, then that would also automatically indicate that he got them from Angelo, okay, or somebody, whatever, however it went down. But that right there, I mean, if he never read them or whatever on his platform, then that would definitely be an indication that no, he didn't get no emails from no Tasha K. But if he did read them or what have you, then it most likely meant that he got them from Angelo. But because we do know, that's what was said, that Angelo gave them to Angela, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm wrong, y'all can type on in here and correct me. What's good with it, Skylight? What's good with it, Honey Bunny? What's good with it? I have a question. Why the thoughts about? Oh, Skylight. Oh, god damn. No, girl. No. Yeah, but so Bruce and they say Bruce and Carrie was in the goddamn around during this time and shit. You know? I'm like, well, what? How you around with the goddamn with the bullshit? How the hell are you fucking around? So hey, but if you on that shit and whatever, you shit, you trying to break into the music business, I guess, you know. But in all fairness, it could have been a situation where um, they were they may have seen a lot of girls or whatever around or what have you, but they didn't think that it was anything going on. You know what I'm saying? That rises to the level of what we know now as sexual abuse, right? Because here's the thing: when I was around Houdini, you see, um, Ice T, I just turned 18, so that's different. Um, the New Edition, they were underage too, so that's different. Let me see. What else? Okay, 6 and I wasn't don't really count, but they were underage. Trigger, same. So I'll just say who did. When when I was around them, I was underage. Matter of fact, my whole little clique was. They didn't think anything of it, and nobody carded us back then, or none of that. That was in the 80s. They didn't ask us for shit. So times are different. You know, they didn't ask us for shit. And also, when underage acts were on tour with, you know, because one time, New Edition was New Edition, Houdini, somebody else, some other people came. We were all around, you know, the young girls as well as old motherfuckers. Nobody asked for anything. When we played the hotels, that means if anybody don't, if you know, we use the term play the parking lot. That means that we outside. We ain't going in the club. We gonna play the parking lot. Meaning that we gonna be too cool for school, profiling and styling, hollering at a dude. Well, in my case, dude hollering at me, cause I ain't gonna holler at nobody. Okay, it's not in me. All right, so but anyway, we played the hotels and things of that nature, whatever. Hey, the security guards and shit will come get those groupies and shit like that. And hey, and whatever it was, whatever. You know, the ones that was willing to take their ass on up there. So it is what it is. So back then, so I ain't giving no excuses to Bruce and Carrie. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just sharing my experience and what I know. I know back in those days, they didn't find nothing abnormal. Okay, and the way some of us look, we might have looked young in the face, but we looked old in the waist and ass. Hell, and some people, shit, hell, some of them girls left the house. However, shit. Some of them had those type of parents where they can leave the house in whatever motherfucking whole outfit that they goddamn pick, they bought and used the parents' money to buy it. So shit, it is what it is. I felt that the parents, whether they were there or not, I felt like they had a lot of guilt and definitely a lot of remorse because they probably thinking, you know, what could they have done to prevent this? And parenting is there's no handbook. You can't say, well, you should have did this, you should have did this. Yeah, you can say that, but it doesn't matter. I mean, how many times you told a kid, and I I don't have a bad kid. She waited, she got grown to, to kind of be, you know, like not do what I say, but kind of try to make her own decisions or whatever. But who's to say these kids wouldn't have done this shit by themselves on their own? And if you got one chance in a lifetime opportunity, and I guess the ones that was dancing and singing and shit like that, I hope they was bringing home a check. And I would expect that some parents would ask, well, if y'all, not maybe even thinking no, if it's no R. Kelly, but thinking if y'all fucking around with boys and shit while y'all on tour and shit, and if they tell you no, what, like, listen, all of them, all these parents won't have the opportunity like some of us, it's just, let me tell you, I restricted my child's scholarships and shit. Cause she had scholarships to go as far as Colorado, all kind of crazy shit. I was like, and nope, can't go to none of them places, none of them. So it is what it is because I know how these motherfuckers get down in college. So, I just felt like they got to have some remorse and shit like that. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. Just 1 minute. Okay. Sorry about that. Now, what I do have a big old problem with. Now, this may, I don't, I don't give a fuck how this comes out. But what I do have a big old problem with, look at this. The parents couldn't be there, right? Now we know just by pictures and all kinds of stuff. Now you can't deny this, that those accusers had some type of relationship with R. Kelly, whether it be friendship or whatever kind of shit. they had something. So while a lot of people have beat down these motherfucking parents, and I get it, I think the equal fucking, you know, beat down should be administered to the motherfuckers that was around. Because they would really know what the fuck is going on. You know, why none of them, if they saw it or whatever, didn't pick up the phone and, you know, but because look here, especially the motherfucker that is arranging hotels and shit like that. Something in my head, if I got a duty to call to arrange somebody's flight to go to a hotel, and I'm gonna tell this motherfucker that Mr. Kelly gonna meet you there, huh? Now I'm gonna ask some questions, and I'm probably gonna ask Mr. Kelly, knowing me, why is she at the hotel, and why you gotta meet her there? And if the answer is by some singing and shit, fine, I'll come up with you, or we'll send some other people to go with, like, At some point, who's right and who's wrong got to go out the window. And we got to think logically, and because we all humans, again, we feel some kind of way, but you got to think logical. And being humane and shit. But, I would hate to think that some of you motherfuckers ain't the type that would have motherfuckers knocking at your door trying to take y'all goddamn kids and shit. Or, some of you motherfuckers won't put your kids in the fucking freezer and shit and kill them and shit like that. You got me like what the fuck? Because after you watch this iteration of what happened, you should really be like, well, goddamn, we done beat up these goddamn parents, but what about these motherfuckers that was around? That's what I'd be asking. And you always got to understand another part of the psychology of a person that does crime or whatever. 8 out of 10 times they don't tell you, they hide it. If they didn't, that's why some motherfuckers be so crazy. Yeah, they do the crime and show up to the police station saying they do it. It ain't always that easy. So if a lot of times if these people said they never seen anything, it's probably because it wasn't done in, but you could add, and I'm just going off what we already have read, what is already transpired in the courtroom, and these people's stories that convince a lot of people in the courtroom. So, so you can't be blaming just the parents, and you ain't blaming the other people. And here's the thing, but this is what happened. When you blame those other people, you essentially saying that R. Kelly probably is guilty. So maybe that's why you place the blame on everybody else. I don't know. But it seems like Lifetime, they're telling you they tired of it. I'm just telling you I'm going to talk to you about it from a legal standpoint. I'm going to also tell you about it from a human. That's a parent. They got good sense. So now either none of this shit happened. That's why nobody said something because they didn't see anything. Or the judicial system just got fucked twice. I don't know what to tell you. But it is a sad set of circumstances for everybody on both sides. Now, if you are a supporter and you say you want to see a sentence that um, that is sufficient for the crime, right? What he was charged with, and that both, and when you say that, that means that okay, you recognize that the accusers need to feel some type of compensation. I'm not talking about monetarily. I'm talking about compensation as okay, somebody's been held responsible, right? That's perfectly fine. If you feel that time is like 10 years or whatever, that's perfectly fine. If you're saying that because you're saying, hey, there were parents and there's a whole bunch of prevention. There's a whole bunch of shit that could have prevented this shit, or at least lessened or whatever, and you feel like you should hold others responsible, that's fine. But when you run a problem, and I'm not speaking for the other side because I'm not on that side, I'm not on any side, but when you run into problems is when you make up an excuse for everybody that's involved in the shit. You make up an excuse. Why this happened? Because of why this happened to this person, that person, whatever. Why the parents is responsible because of blah 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 blah. Why the people around him should be held responsible because of blah 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 blah. And depending on what side you're on, why he shouldn't be held responsible, why he should. But here's the thing. If you're holding anybody responsible, you're saying that he did something. Let's keep it above. So you can't get around it. So you sound more logical and like you got some sense. If you're saying, okay, he we want to see a sentence that that will how can I put this? That will say, hey, we recognize something happened. He had some trauma. There was some missteps made. There was a lot of people that facilitated this bullshit. But for all of that shit, none of this would have happened. He's just one of many that may have lived their lives like this. To me, that's acceptable enough. That don't make me think, well, God damn, this motherfucker either crazy or heartless or whatever. But if you're saying that, this person is innocent because his team hasn't said he's innocent because he didn't do it. I'm not saying whether or not is the case. That's not my position. My position is to look at what both sides are putting out and what the judge initially, determines. But you got to have some sensibility when they're looking at this shit or whatever. Because if not, what's up, A. Miller? I still don't see what he did that was wrong. Other people spacing the knockdowns further apart. Skylife, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, new black is in the building. You got to drive that truck, ladies. Ma, what's good with it? Oh, on an hour before anyone else goes to prison. I would strongly recommend everyone around that situation. You so crazy. Mo, you must be wasn't here when I said, honey, between Lifetime and Levi, we all going to jail. We all going. We all going, honey, and thank the Lord we're gonna have praying Atmos and praying Sylvia. We all are gonna be in the same cell where we can have our prayers and stuff all the time and stuff. I'm gonna show up with the ghost of Johnny Cochran. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna show up with him and the God and the Lord. Me and mine, we gonna be all right. You know, we'll be drinking scotch and smoking cigars before noon. Y'all will still be there. Oh Lord. Yes, yes. So, oh, okay. And another thing, right? They did. I was glad that they in surviving they did touch on the evidence that they had in New York. So, like I told y'all, they had every category of evidence damn near covered. Now, in that, they were talking about in surviving, they were talking about the amount. All right. Here, we when we talking about insufficient evidence, we are not talking about the amount, right? Not talking about the quantity, we're talking about the quality. They were talking about the amount. So those reporters were there. I didn't read the transcripts or anything like that. And the key in the back, and in different places where you see the exhibits and things of that nature, whatever, that's where you source your evidence, right? So, of course I can't run through that in my head, but they touched on that. Oh Lord, trust me, it's one of those prayers not going out to terrorists. As I get finished with them, I'll go back. Oh, Levi, please don't put us down. Oh no, please don't put us down, honey. Do not put us down. So that's about enough on that about surviving. Surviving, yeah. That was interesting. Yeah, he done did a Jack in the Box on me. So let me before because I know y'all. Cause I'm gonna be a man. I'm gonna go and drop the link. Just for the serious conversationists, people. Uh, you know, trying to get through this today. Because I still got a little ways to go. But yeah, so before I move on to that between Tasha and Tasha, the lady that sounds like Wendy Williams, honey, I gotta I ain't asked y'all to do this in a long time, but can you please hit that like button? Hit that like button if you like the fact that Miss Mo was up here dropping that on y'all the other day. It was yesterday. I talked about that earlier too, Mo. How I was explaining how I said before I even knew you existed that law and psychology intersects and intertwine and all of that. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate it. So, Skylar Eve, Skylar Eve. Hey, Haunted.
Can you
Hey,
hear me?
Haunted. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. What's going on? Happy New Year.
Happy
Merry
New Year. Hey, chat and all True Care supporters. What's good? Who got it? Okay, let me say something. I'm gonna be quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about to lay down. But I heard the conversation that was happening yesterday.
Mm.
Now, this is my thing. If the documentary has affected, okay, let me see. The young lady was saying, and I'm not going to talk bad about it because I like her. So if the documentary shouldn't have been played now because it is wrong timing because it might affect Kale's appeal, then how does that not take place for the previous ones that have already been played? And people want to act like those didn't affect his case.
Who said that?
Um, I like her. Boom Boom said it though. That's what Boom Boom said.
Okay, Boom said, okay, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with her saying that. But here's the thing, right? With you can play it, you can run it. Um, it's not. I got to hit it with the legal. Okay, when you run these documentaries or whatever, based on the jury instructions, they're only supposed to consider what was out, what was laid out in court, not any other, other factors, right? So you notice on the jury when they could do Verdere, right? They ask, did you watch Surviving? Do you know about the defendant's prior criminal history with whatever? Okay, if they say yes, it's up to the attorneys to whether to strike that juror or not. It's not a automatic ban from being in there because the main qualifier is, can you be objective? Can you you know uh, listen and be non-biased? So
Okay,
I
well, let me say that the if you even have to ask if they saw it or not, that makes it a factor in the whole situation because I'm not just gonna bring up, well, did you see Dukes of Hazard? Have you ever watched that? It's a non-factor. So for you to even bring that up to ask a juror if they saw a particular show means that it's a possible factor. I'm just saying, and I agree with Boom Boom because I feel
yeah,
like the documentary affected his entire all of his cases. Okay, so
yeah.
but it's weird. It was weird to me for her to say it now and then say, well, he was found guilty, and since he was found guilty, I mean that doesn't mean he must have did something wrong. But in the same sense, you say they shouldn't play the documentary now because it's going to affect his appeal. It's not lining up for me. But I
No,
agree with
no.
her.
Okay, well, here's the thing, right? It's not gonna have anything to do with his appeal. It shouldn't. Okay, let me always preface it why it shouldn't, because the appeal is gonna be based on what was on the record. This is not on the record. What will have an effect to me, okay, is that you got a judge in Illinois and a possible state trial that may go forward. You have people that's still out here, that's waiting to be on the jury for that, and you have a
There you
judge
go.
that can sit up here and listen to that, because he don't have no restrictions on. Okay, well, I can't watch this about our kid. No, he can watch whatever the fuck you want to watch, and that can play. It's a, okay, it's a girl out here who still, is not with her, who still can't, haven't spoken with her parents and all of that. There's some other people that popped up, whatever, that can affect his sentence, and if the judge considers that, if the judge, considers what he hears.
Well, see, this is my thing. And I mean, do you get my point when I'm saying about for them to even bring it up that it's a factor? For them to even ask the jurors if they saw that it's a factor. Do you understand my point with that?
Yeah, 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 I get it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just saying that and like you're saying, I'm not very well. I guess I am concerned with the judges because if they don't like them, they just gonna use that to continue to stack the deck. But like you're saying, you have potential jurors, and this is the problem because just like I didn't watch these new the new documentaries that just came out. I'm gonna watch them, but I wasn't in a race to do it. But it's all it is doing is adding more fuel to the fire. It's just to further defame him and to attack his character. I mean, there's no point. Why are you back again? Like what? What? Why are you back again? Why are we doing another one? What is the purpose other than to affect his trials? Everything in life is timing,
Right.
and if you can't
I,
pay attention to the timing of these things, then I don't know what to tell you. And then
but
somebody told me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Then somebody said it's a new chick popped out and she's got a tape of Aaliyah and what? I mean, come on. If you had the tape, why you ain't give it to the have use it in the prosecution in New York or Chicago? Like, do you know everything they come out with? They want people to believe it, and some people do believe it. That's the problem. Is that people don't have the common brain power to decipher what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. And
What's
that's the problem with this whole thing.
what's that? Now she didn't.
Because I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, she didn't keep the tape. She said she viewed it when she was at his place. She, so happened to popped it in, and it was of him and Aaliyah. So she didn't, keep the tape or whatever. So,
Oh Lord. Okay.
what I
Okay.
was, well, I'm just saying, but that's what she said. I have
Yeah.
no idea. But the
Yeah.
thing, now, well, yeah, I wonder whatever happened to all those tapes and shit, because the tapes with Aaliyah and the tapes with this person and that person, whatever. To my knowledge, it never surfaced in court, so I don't know. The people, the media that said they listened to audio from the tapes that were presented to the jury, really detailed, verbal abuse and some. I think did they, but we know about one of the physical abuse or whatever, but nothing too much about you know underage sex or whatever. If they said they seen it, maybe like one or whatever like that, but nothing like, no one said they seen it over and over again. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, Scott. You can't restrict like whether or not someone, but see, whether or not someone saw Surviving R. Kelly, that can be on a jury form, right? Questionnaire form, right? As well as whether or not you believe in uh whatever it is, homosexual sex and shit like that. Those are just questions, and you're giving either side, your chance to, strike a juror for that. But the thing about it is, if you preclude every possible thing and make that a part of law, then you won't even have no jurors. You'll have to go to Amish County country to get jurors. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why they make the number one and damn near the only thing that matters is if you can be unbiased. If you can be unbiased, then hey, and you demonstrate that. But if you have one too many, like, yeah, you saw surviving, yeah, you are a survivor of sexual abuse, yeah, this whatever, they most likely ain't gonna let you sit, as a juror, regardless if you say that you can be unbiased or not. That's just how it works.
I just think it's a flawed system because I mean, but this the bottom line with that. If the documentary was not a factor in the case, they wouldn't have had it on the questionnaire. They didn't ask, did you see Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? Did you see Married to Medicine? They specifically asked, did you see these documentaries? Okay. Now, then for you to let somebody else to decide if they could be non-biased, I'm gonna say yes, I can be non-biased. Because guess what? I want to sit up here. I want to be privy to this case. I want to sit here and I want to convict him. I feel like it just should have been more. I don't know. I just wish it had been a way for them to just alleviate those people because it's a character call. When all these documentaries are affecting how people view him and his character. And you brought up a good point because even when they say he engaged in underage sexual activity, okay, it was they I guess you're saying some people say it once or twice. But with this documentary, it is now magnified it where people believe that every single incident and sexual encounter this man has had has been with an underage person. And that's the problem because trust me, these people in the world, they don't think that he's been having sex with 35-year-old. It was some 40-year-olds. It was some clear folks. It was some black folks. It's some Hispanic folks. They are all thinking these women are underage, and that's the problem. And it helps create a negative narrative, a false narrative, let me say, that just further diminishes his character. And I'm not gonna go into it long, but I still don't see what he did wrong, and that's what I'm going to explain to you what I was saying. Outside of him, if he would have spaced, quote unquote, allegedly having sex with these women, spaced it out more, and not been accused of having sex with them in close proximity in regards to a timeline, like maybe today this, then tomorrow he was with her, then the next day it was her, because it creates a whole system of promiscuity that everybody can't handle. Everybody can't handle listening to that, hearing that he was with her, then he was with her, then he did that, and then that, and it's not basic, what I'm saying, from what we saying, what do they call it? Missionary position. You got, if you're showing videos of explicit, what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
can't handle that. You see what I'm saying? They can't handle it. So it just to me just paints a worse picture of him. But I just pray that people are able to think and process logically the facts, and I just wish they would know the true narrative of what really happened. And even with the women in the case, the women lied about their age, and for you to lie about your age, there's a meaning behind that. And for your parents to know about it and to put you in a situation. I'm sorry, I don't say that word good. There's a meaning to that too. But I'm gonna go ahead and drop in because I know some other people want to get up. But that's really it. I just, I wasn't gonna let them rush me into watching that, and because that's what they want to do: incite a riot, put some new documentaries out here, and get people all riled up. But
Oh
thank
Lord.
you for having me.
Well, let
I
me.
still
Oh
feel the
Lord,
same.
Hammer. Now
And,
you were
and when
now
I
you
go
were
live,
strong
I'm
with
gonna
you.
tell you this: we're gonna break these women down. We're gonna break they titles down. We're gonna break they movements down. Oh, trust me, I'm gonna break it on down. But I'm gonna go down so somebody else will come up. But Happy New Year, Angie. Happy New Year, everybody in the chat. And we'll
Let me
talk
ask
later.
you a question before you get off.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay, so with the okay, you said, well, you got some people that can be deceptive on the, and say, well, I'm gonna say this just because I want to be up here and whatever. Okay, but just know that the whole where their situation or whatever is not bulletproof, right?
Yeah.
So it's not bulletproof, and you're supposed to, and if they go through a trial, and if that particular juror, has issues or whatever, and and what have you, then usually be a hung trial. If they, and then they just start the process all over again. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But
Yeah.
it's kind of, it's kind of hard to 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 make sure that you're going to have a fail proof, a bulletproof as 12. It's kind of hard. You get, you
Mhm.
just hope everybody's being honest, but if they're not, you just have to, hey, do what it do. What's up? What's up, Karen J?
And see, it's just like this is my problem with it. It's too much. It's packaged, manufactured, slanderous information. Okay, it's different for word of mouth. Everybody in Chicago will tell you that was from the South Side, that knew anything about the South Side and Kenwood, him picking up women in cars, them going happily. That still doesn't dictate that they went off and had sex or something like that. We know people. My cousin said he saw him picking up a female from Hyde Park, and she was happily sitting in the car with him. That don't mean he went to have sex with him, but people could tell you rumors of him in Chicago. That's way different from you packaging up and giving us a visual and packaging up women after women, crying, sound effects, lighting, the music, all of that stuff is just too much. It's too much to people to try and get people to overcome and to get rid of and to kind of take out of their minds completely. Because when you argue with some people, and even with myself, I bring up the documentary where his brother stated that he was sexually assaulted and he didn't even know that he wasn't supposed to like it. So people use this documentary in their defense and just random banter. So it's just interesting, I mean,
Right,
and
but just from the title that the documentary wasn't going to be R. Kelly friendly. And if just about,
true.
if I'm not mistaken, since 2019, every January, I don't know if they did one 2022, but every January they put one out. So the timing to me wasn't of an alarm, an issue. It was the what was in there, the context, what was in there, the commentary. You know, that was like, oh, okay, I see what they're trying to do. I see what they're focusing on. I see what they're trying to drive home and stuff. That
Yeah.
that is what stuck out to me. Because every January, just about is something kind of surviving him with what. But this particular time, I just paid attention to the what was in there, and then I looked at the time, and I was like, oh. And you think about it, the even though R. Kelly was convicted, the prosecutors don't look at that Illinois conviction as a win. You know,
Mhm.
that's how it works.
Mhm.
So they are still, really, what I'm saying, they still feel some kind of way. So that's why I feel like, we're gonna have to look look out for the prosecution's response to the post conviction motions and the judges ruling on them. You know, as a matter of fact, hey, have they put that out yet? The prosecution's response? I can't remember.
Let
Do
me
you
say
know?
something real quick to Jennifer the Brainless. Do you understand that R. Kelly is from the South Side of Chicago and that he attended Kenwood? Okay, so therefore, when you go back to any school that you've attended, you're viewed as an alumni. Okay, so when you're viewed as an alumni, and don't forget, he is the king of R&B. He was on trial in his name as a celebrity too. They saying he used his celebrity status to lure, entice these women into alleged sexual activity. Dum dum. Okay, so he
Oh,
can have the right to go to any school that he wants to go to. Okay, and like I said, the part that you missed is they were happily in the car with him. He didn't. My cousin didn't say he put a gun to they said and hop in the car with me. See, this is my part. The part that pisses me off. This man is a celebrity, so whoever made Jennifer's bottom wet, whoever her celebrity of choice was at the time, if he would have pulled up on her when she was a teenager, 17 and 18, you would have hopped in the car with him too. So don't come on here and act like you so self-righteous and he did something wrong. It's just natural behavior. I was in love with New Edition. If any of them would have pulled up on me, I ain't gonna say that. If Ronnie,
oh Lord.
I gotta pick him. Bobby Brown, which is probably the worst one of them all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
he
I'm
was
ratting
nasty.
out. You know what I'm saying? But I was different. I roll with people. Somebody got to be riding shotgun in the back of somewhere. But yeah, I'm saying don't sit up here and act like a celebrity is not gonna make you move in a certain way. If he wasn't Ray Ray and Frank Nitty down on the block, this is a mega superstar who had the best hits at the time and still does. He's a king of R&B. So don't act like he wasn't moving. That man was moving grown women. Okay, and like you hear people talk, he was making grown women cry at concerts. So please just stop. Just think, okay, before you speak. That was just an illogical statement. But let me say this: I'm about to get down. And it's just sad, the whole situation is sad. I still feel all the women were willing participants, and that is my strongest point in regards to why I still support him, because there's a difference to me being from Chicago. There's a difference between a predator and a person that goes willingly, okay? And that'll never change for me. So me knowing that they wanted to go with him, they wanted to be there, and even their parents uh were entangled in the arrangements of them being in his presence. It solidifies it for me. I just don't see what he did wrong, But that's me, When anybody want to argue, we'll do it another day, you know. But thank you, Angie,
There's
for letting
something
me
wrong
up,
with you. There's something wrong with you. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I'm so damn crazy.
So
Oh
this is my
Lord.
thing. Okay, now and I'm gonna get off. I promise after this. The show Taken. Did you see any of the movies Taken?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, those was predators. They took them women. Hits the title Taken. He didn't go taking nobody. And furthermore, let's say somebody gave out a phone number while you were at his concert, okay? Not nobody else's concert. So that showed you had interest in him because you was at his concert. They give you the number, and in every single situation, they called the number, whether the mama called or they called. So you are really the one who started the engagement. You didn't have, I've gotten thousands of numbers from guys, giving out thousands of false numbers. But I take numbers, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna call you. I tear that shit up and get in the car and go. When once you make that phone call, you letting him know I wanna entangle. You see what I'm saying? I wanna let's move forward with something. Now what your something is, I don't know. But okay, with
Wait a
that
minute.
being
Just
said,
for just for a phone call, you think that means that?
you said what?
You said if somebody, maybe I didn't hear you right. You say if you call back, or if you, what you said about a phone call?
I said they came to his concert or
Uh-huh.
wherever. Met mostly the concert. Um, Somebody gave them the number. Either their mama or somebody called the number to get in contact with him. I'm saying this: if you don't want to be in contact with a person, if you don't want to engage with a person, you damn sure don't call a number to communicate with them. Cause why? Cause why are you calling a number?
But
You
Sky,
understand what I'm saying?
baby,
If
just
you
because you
calling a
call a
number, there's a
number,
purpose, huh?
but just because you call a number, somebody back or answer the phone, don't mean you want to screw them.
Didn't nobody say screw them? I said engage with them. There's something you want from them. If you call and contact somebody, I don't care if it's a plumber. I'm calling you because I want to get a plumbing service. Why
Right.
are you just calling the number? You see what I'm saying? So justify to me, explain to me why they called his number. What do you want from
Because
him or
it's
the
R.
people?
Kelly.
Okay, then, but if that's the fact, then let's be honest about it, Angie. That's all I'm saying. They trying to act like that the fact that he was R. Kelly, so how is he enticing them with that? They want to be with this R. Kelly. You see what I'm saying? Because they calling a number. Do you get what I'm saying? Am I saying it
But an enticement, depending on who
right?
it
Okay,
is.
and stupid Jennifer, didn't nobody say uh that I'm okay with people breaking the law and not going to jail, dumb dumb. That's not what I said, stupid. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I said when depending on if it's somebody under 18, um, the entice they kind of outline what the enticement methods were. So and we have to go back through the paperwork for us that enticement, course, whatever.
I remember you
It
said
could have
that.
been
Yes, ma'am.
it could have been whatever he said on the phone. You know what I'm saying? If you come over, this I'm just hypothetically. If you come over, and when you have a nice night with me, whatever, I'm gonna make sure you get a contract. Well, in between, what's the nice night and the contract? What I got to do for it? That might not have been disclosed till you get there, you know? So,
Well, let me say this. You brought up a good point, and let me answer Miss Mo. I'm being nice, but I'm sorry. I don't like stupidity. That's just her statements were stupid. But I'm being sweet. Um, you brought up a good point about, oh God, what did you say? You said somehow being in a location. God, it was, you made a good statement. I can't think of what it was. But this is my thing.
mhm,
And let me Miss Mo. I'm gonna give you the same scenario. I'm sure you've had guys give you phone numbers, okay, to talk to you for whatever reason. Okay, we don't know the reason when these guys give us the numbers, okay, or women. I've been approached by all. Now you can't tell me that you call every single number that you get. Angie, do you call every single number that you get from a guy or a woman or whoever do you call every single one?
mm-mm.
Why not?
Because if they trying to holler, I'm probably not interested.
Thank you. Do you see what I'm saying now? Do you get what I'm saying?
But
There's
every
something that
phone
they were
call ain't based
interested
on that.
in. No, 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 no. I'm not saying phone call. I'm
Okay.
saying the contact. The reason why you're not contacting the bank because you're not interested. We don't know if you're not interested in working with them, going out with them, having sex with them. Whatever the point is, you made it not your great statement. You're not interested in whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? So I'm
Right.
saying for you to respond or call the number, you are interested in something. There's something you're seeking by making that contact. Do you all see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but I think this is where you're missing a point. Just
Okay.
say, just say I'm interested. Just say I'm interested, and I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna wear his ass out. Oh, I'm gonna drop all of it. Well, if I'm under 18,
Mhm.
he just broke the law. And especially if he know, as a matter of fact, if he don't know it, but the law says you should reasonably have an idea that the person that you're dealing with is underage. He just broke the law.
Okay, but okay, now you did say that earlier too. You said we was young in the face but old in the hips. When we
Yeah,
was growing up, we was thick as that thing. That I had some cousins that I was like, girl, how you get all that? I'm talking about stacked up. So we can't. So the law says that I can't dispute you with nothing law, but we know how them girls was looking coming up. So how can you reasonably know? You know what I'm saying? Like these
yeah.
girls was built up, big mama breasts. Okay,
And I'll
so
give you one more. A lot of girls, they by the time they 16 or whatever, they were sexually active and whatever. A lot of us was of somebody was over 18. But he broke the law. He
but
broke the
I will
law,
give you
and
this:
that's
if
just
he knows.
huh?
I'll give you this. If he knows, that's something different. But when somebody asks you and you lie, I'm not going. You'll never get me to agree with that. Never ever,
I don't agree with
because
that.
there's
I don't
no
agree with
reason for you to
that
lie.
either.
Yeah, there's
I
no
don't,
reason
I
for you to
don't
lie.
agree with nobody being tricked into a
Right?
crime, but you got to.
Yes.
But I still put the accountability on the person that's older because they should know more than you should know that your ass, especially after you find out, you got to stop. Because if not, that means you definitely complicit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is and me and shout out to Keller. We had an argument about this yesterday. Um, so let me ask you this: in the young lady, the beautiful young lady, um, Azriel stated that they supposedly had an entanglement when she was 17, sexual entanglement. Then she told him her true age. Okay, he supposedly gave her a smack and sent her home. Okay, then he said Keller's argument. No, he said convince your parents to send you back. Okay, whatever how you want to put it. The little girl goes home. I guess she convinces her parents. or they willingly agreed to send her back and to homeschool, to whatever you have to do to make the arrangement of her going back. And she wanted to go back. So do you feel like that's a continuance, or do you feel like that's the place where he went wrong, where once he knew the age and continued the behavior? How do you view that particular situation?
Once he knew the age and he could tend the situation, he was wrong.
Okay, so that's so you don't agree with her lying at first, but you're saying when that continuance allegedly happened right there, you saying that's where he went wrong for you.
That's to me. No, I don't agree with any of them saying that she was 18 if she wasn't. I don't agree with that. But
Okay.
once he knew that she was 18, was under 18, then
Mhm.
that's when he was wrong. He was already wrong and didn't know it in the eyes of the
Right.
law. But now he's
Right.
wrong and know it in the eyes of the law.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can respect that. I can
Yeah.
respect that. Okay,
Once
that's
you
fair.
yeah, once you yeah, so
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
I can give you that. Okay. Well, I just was, me and Kelly, we he talking about he was calling me to do a wellness check. Baby, we argued for about an hour.
Oh, you gonna argue with that one? Oh my gosh.
I mean, we was back in '98. We was, you know what I'm saying? We was back deep down back, talking about the tape and
Okay.
greasy Jim. Yeah, and I'm gonna say that on record for everybody. I have no respect for him because you worse than Savage kicking up dust, and you don't want to get on an official record. I have no respect for you, because when you get, and I do respect them women for going in the court and giving their stories, whether I believe it or not. You gotta have stones to do that. And so for him not to say all of this stuff unofficially, all the Kels his whole entire life since birth, and then you don't want to get on the stand and make an official record of what you said and where these tapes came from. I have no respect for you. I don't even know why people still listen to him. Because to me, that was the failure of fact right there, where you didn't even want to make your statements official. I'm sorry. No
Yeah,
respect.
the issue I have because I know that he know that um he could have pled the fifth to the questions that he wanted to because unlike being a defendant, you got to actually either plead the fifth to all of them or none of them when you take the stand. When you are just somebody taking the stand and giving testimony, you could pick and choose what questions that you want to answer and you don't want to answer. I don't know if he didn't take the stand because it was the defense that called him, and he know that those questions wasn't going to be Jim Dergada's friendly. I don't know if he didn't
Mhm.
take the stand because of that, because it should have relied on the fact that the prosecutors would have their turn to try to clean up anything that got muddled up or messed up or whatever. I don't know, what was the deal with that. That's a mystery to me. Maybe he just didn't want to, ask, answer a lot of questions, and then the question that he would have pled the fifth to, people would be like, why you didn't answer that question? Well, looked at it a certain kind of way. So I don't know what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And it's really, to me, it was a smack in the face for him to be really one of the pioneers of the R. Kelly takedown. And for you to write books and you're talking to people and talking to victims and talking to all these other people. And then for it to be your turn after you done pumped them up to, I believe, get on the stand and tell their story. You don't want to tell yours. I mean, what a joke, and I'm not even going to expand on him. I'm hoping somebody else, I hope Levi come up here so we can hear Levi say, but I'm going to drop down. Once again, Happy New Year, everybody, and I'll be back again. Yeah, we'll definitely chop it up, especially after I watch this horrendous, ridiculousness that they put out. I'm going to watch it and then I'll be back again. But have a good day, Angie, and shout out to
All
you.
right,
All right, baby.
all right, all right. So that being said, let's move on to the Tasha K versus Natasha phone call. Um, and I am right. I agree with y'all about the law. That's why, since I don't know how long my volunteer hours have been in rehabilitation and reform, honey. Um, Not much has happened, but it's steady. I was really, really, uh, when I worked there, both places, I still, always was on rehabilitation and reform. Those are my volunteer hours because a lot of the shit I don't agree with, right? I never agree with someone tricking someone into a crime unless it is not. No, well, I take that, but not even if it's done by the aid of the cops and shit. Like, that means that you're taking the choice away from a person, whether or not to choose a crime or not. Because if you go by what they say, a person has, a certain amount of time or to change their mind. It's up to the little second to change their mind about doing anything. And that includes committing a crime. That's part of the psychology of it. So, hey, a lot of areas where the law contradicts itself. Uh, and I find that the law contradicts itself more than psychology does. With the contradictions in psychology is usually based on the different researchers. But when it comes to the law, there are different areas where it contradicts itself. You know, I mean, that's just what it is. Anyway, on to the call, baby, with Tasha versus Tasha. Mm. So now, yeah, I got more notes on that. I had to freestyle that pretty much. But shouts out the sky and all y'all in the chat and coming through and posting y'all comments and shit like that and questions and concerns. So hey, I don't know who all heard the call with Tasha versus Tasha, but she has a website now, and she had she had that interview up there on that website. Okay, couple things I'm gonna go right down the line. What I wrote, it might not be in order, but it is what it is. One thing I heard her say is that she had proof of the parents, namely Angelo and Tim, selling their daughters to R. Kelly. And if I remember, she started talking like this after she would allegedly had a trip to Chicago and whatever. I don't know if that was some Chicago evidence or whatever she brought back or whatever, because we're gonna keep it a buck. We're just gonna keep it a buck. I'm not gonna name no names because that would be slander. Especially if it isn't true, and I don't know. But based on just what we see, R. Kelly got different little, groups of people and shit like this, whatever, working diligently on his defense outside of the attorneys. So I don't know if I have no idea. It kind of reminds me of when I heard that man say he had evidence that can free Mr. Kelly, but he won't give it to nobody. And he won't give it to nobody because of this, that, and the third. Well, we know, his truth meter, where that lies. Okay? Because here's the thing. Even if you have evidence of the parents selling their kids to R. Kelly, that evidence as crazy as it may sound, would be discoverable. It would end up in discovery. That's for the defense team to use it, okay, based upon if the judge approves that particular, I'm using the word approve without going into the particulars of it, approve that defense, okay? But it definitely would serve as some evidence, some kind of way to um, defend against that enticement, coercion, that particular element. You know, we have that element was all up and through that indictment. Just like J-Bo picked out those text messages to go up against that enticement and coercion, whatever, blah blah blah. It'd have been the same down the same line if there was some evidence about somebody selling their kids. You're basically showing that the parents was complicit into whatever happened. So that was kind of, reckless to say, especially if you ain't vet that evidence. You can't just take, and here's the thing, right? And this is the thing where I think like smaller media outlets or people just doing whatever walk a thin line, right? Because like big media and whatever, they're gonna try to vet it is and what they're gonna do, they're gonna have the common sense to ask the question, hey, well, if this you got this evidence, why it isn't um you if you got hold to the evidence and you giving it to us, well, why didn't you give it to the cops? They're gonna ask all those questions. So big media is gonna run all of that through. And they have a legal team there that's gonna tell you what you could say or what they suggest you say, how you say it, and they're gonna have all kind of disclaimers all around if they use that particular evidence. That's very loose evidence, you know. I mean, what could you possibly have? You got some kind of receipt showing how much was paid for? You got a text message or something? I don't believe no shit like that. Uh-uh. And if it's manufactured evidence, if you see how CNN was able to view that tape or whatever, CNN again got their, big media got their own legal department. They'll be able to vet that evidence to see whether it's bullshit or not. So, mm-mm. So, let me see. Hold on. Okay. Let me check that out. All right. Make sure. Okay. When she said that Tim and Angelo went down to Gwinnett Police Department to try to put her in jail. Is that true? I mean, I don't know. It ain't really my business, but I'd be interested to know. She said they tried to put her in jail because they didn't want her to release information that showed that they were lying about something. I don't know. I thought that was um strange. I'm trying to get through all the stuff in the conversation she talked about before getting into the VOP emails. Okay. What else she said? Yeah, when she now the girl, the Natasha lady, she, I can say for both of them are have some type of bias, either with whoever if they support the accusers, if they support R. Kelly, if they support the parents, if they don't, they support like other bloggers, whatever. And you can tell it came out. Natasha seemed to have, and this is not to offend nobody, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I don't give a fuck. And then I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm going to give you a um the basis for me saying it. Okay, but it seems like Natasha bought into everything that was being told to her. I'm not saying just by R. Kelly, by whatever other sources, right? Um, and she spoke with complete certainty that the information that she was given was correct. I don't, and I haven't heard it in anything that she's released. I definitely didn't hear it in that call that nobody brought up the fact she didn't. And if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if she said that BOP situation was investigated and the results were in. Let me know if she said that, because she's carrying it like it's this major issue or whatever. Let me know if she has disclosed what exactly the emails contain. I'm just asking. Just let me know. Because we're gonna talk about this email shit. And we're gonna put some bullshit behind it, right? Probably should do this first or whatever. Okay. So this whole big old, I don't know what to call it at this point, thing. And now and the reason why I hesitate crossing, stepping on toes or whatever, because I now believe that this part of this whole email argument is a bigger picture of a constitution violation defense, right? This is playing a small part, because at this point, how this is blowing up, this has to, and if it hasn't, I stand to be corrected. But at this point, for it to blow up like this again, and it's going, it has to be sanctioned by his defense team. Reason why I'm saying that, because R. Kelly is coming out and talking about it now. He's on the record, on our record, social media record, and talking about it. So it's gone beyond more. So I'm thinking that it's being sanctioned by his defense team. There's a reason why. I'm gonna get into. I had to do some digging. But before I went to digging, one thing you have to understand about this whole BOP email defense. One was whatever in those emails and phone calls and visitation lists, whatever, does it have any bearing on someone's innocence or guilt? Was there anything that was disclosed that would have any bearing on someone's innocence or guilt? Okay? Because the appeals court is going to ask, like, what was there in the emails? And how did it affect the outcome of the trial? You know, you just have to. I mean, that's just that. This is the legal part of it, and he's being held based on the decisions from the court of law. So this matters, not the emotional part, not what you think. This went wrong, and this. No, 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 no. So somebody said something about it was witness tampering or something. It was like, now, so I'm like, now let me help this theory out. You must mean that the the um the whole BOP email situation and shit was witness tampering because of whatever was disclosed in the emails and shit like that was released to the public. And I'm trying to make that make sense because the witness tampering part, I don't know how it would be witness tampering. The only way it would be witness tampering is if the content of the emails and shit had any bearing to his innocence or guilt, meaning did they provide evidence that would support a finding of innocence or guilt. In his situation, he would, of course, be more concerned with if it's supporting a innocent, him being innocent. So I don't know about the witness temporal. Tampering. I don't tampering. I don't know about that. Again, I don't know if um about the how the emails were supposed to be filtered down to Larry. I don't know if Larry even read the emails on his channel or whatever, and I don't remember where he got them from. But I'm pretty sure if he got them from somebody, it's probably been Angelo. But I don't know. I'm just speculating because I don't remember all them goddamn lives. Then Tasha K acted as if she didn't know Larry. Now, hold on. She said that her attorneys, went through that whole VOP email bullshit, right? She said that. And when they went to investigate the investigation, you mean to tell me that her attorneys didn't bring her back the name of the alleged government informant? That makes no sense. She was acting as if she never even heard of the name Larry. And there's no way that you could be running this case and not know Larry little motherfucking ass. So I don't know. All that was, I don't know, why she acting like that? I don't know. I don't motherfucking know. So, like I said, this whole BOP situation has to be a small piece of a larger um, constitution of, you know, violation of defense of the Constitution violation, because there's no way. This don't make no motherfucking sense. I said a long time ago that this is what she was going for, right? Because I gave you the reasons why you will, why you can appeal. Issues of fact, issues of law, like judicial discretion, like misconduct, parts of the on the part of the the judge, something like that. But I think they're making a big push, a big, whatever with this BOP mail. So so I got to go and pull up something. Cause I had to go see what was the argument, the original argument with regards to the BOP emails, and prosecutors, what was the prosecutor's response, and what I was looking for, because what made me think, oh, okay, I see what's going on. I had to see if in the original motion that Bonjean filed with regards to these emails and shit, did she say it was in the where the investigation and the outcome of it, was it in discovery or was it not? Now I'm gonna tell you why. Or anybody wanna take a crack to why I'm trying to find out, was the investigation, was it in discovery, was it the results of it, or was the mention of or anything like that, was it in discovery or not? Anybody want to take a crack and see why I'm asking that question while I go pull this shit up? Hold on, y'all. Okay. All right. Let me see. Did I get a? Y'all probably hard with yourself. Nobody gives a damn. Why I would ask to see if. Okay, Kobe J got something. Thank you, Kobe J. Says, I think Kelly's saying whomever showed ass them emails messed him up with being a player, resulting in ass flipping. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, Karen Johnson. Yeah, what's an email is. Okay. So, the reason why I asked was because I can't remember what all went down, all the motions and shit. That's a lot. But the reason why I asked was the results of the investigation with regards to goddamn emails and shit. Was it in discovery or not? Because that would tell me where the hell she's trying to go with it. And get an answer straight up off the paper. It's her paper, not mine. Hold on. We're gonna keyword. We're gonna look for the word. All right, right there. I kind of figured that she is going to raise an argument with regards to, because the information pertaining to this goddamn investigation with this BOP emails and all this bullshit, because it wasn't in discovery, therefore it constituted a Brady violation. See, with these BOP emails, there was only a couple ways she could go with the constitutional violation, a violation of his constitutional rights, right? It was either one, illegally obtained, okay, and if something is illegally obtained, like by evidence illegally obtained by the police or something of that nature, a judge can still rule that although the evidence was acquired illegally, there is a chance that it could have been acquired legally. So the judge will most likely, deny, rule against that motion, right? So myself, I said, okay, well, maybe it's a Brady, maybe she's going for a Brady violation. And that's more logical, and that's probably exactly what she is going for. But here's the thing, right? Even if this information wasn't discovered and what have you, then the the answer that the judge is going to ask. I'm sorry, I'm reading something. What the judge is going to ask is that, hey, if knowing any of this would have prejudiced the defendant, right? Change the outcome of the case. Was what's contained in those emails severe enough to change the outcome of the case? Now, she could, go there if there's something in there, right? She's well in her rights. And then the outcome could be favorable. He'll get a new trial. And depending on, the prosecution or whatever, you probably will walk on it, because the prosecution is going to may run into double jeopardy and statute of limitation issues, you know, or could be setting up for the habeas corpus, right? That will take place after all the appeals will run. So hey, that's why I say, okay, this has to be sanctioned by his attorney. Because at first glance, I'm like, this is some crazy shit that is being, pushed by, certain people, whatever. But this may be a part of a bigger picture. And, who knows? There may be some other constitutional violations that she may have come up with to go along with this, to paint a bigger picture. Y'all see how this works? This is a violation of his due process rights. So now I don't recall nothing in the appeal, nothing in the emails, but like something about some girls and whatever. It was nothing that was related to the case. If I can remember right, I mean nothing like that would be considered evidence that would support him being innocent or guilty. I don't remember anything like that. But she made an argument here saying that such information likely constitutes Brady information and is discoverable, meaning that it should have been in discovery. So that tells him that it wasn't. It says defendant also seeks a disclosure from the government confirming that McGee obtained leniency in his pending federal case for his assistance in the prosecution of defendant and all communications between the government and Larry McGee. And you can't blame her for doing, going there, but You're gonna have to have more than somebody's word that happened when you're putting that up. You know what's going on? What's going on? Karen, heard what here first? What's happening? Karen, what you talking about? I heard what here first? Cause y'all, I don't get, baby, I don't get into the chat business because y'all be in there talking about something. I don't even know what y'all be talking about, child. Hold on. So now, and so I want to take a little thing down memory lane, go back down memory lane a minute, and just read the government's response to this BOP email shit because I forgot what they ultimately concluded, what the response was. I know that the judge agreed with them, but what did they say? What did they say with regards to the to the emails and shit? And I don't know if they disclosed a little bit of what was in them or whatever, but I want to see what the process because we already know what J-Bo's position on these emails are and what's being put out. I want to know what the goddamn popo said. So let me read. It says government response to the motion to compel regarding DOJ OIG investigation and Larry McGee. Larry little ass. It says the United States of America by its attorney John R. Lausch Jr., United States Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, respectfully submits the following response to Defendant Kelly's motion to compel regarding materials from a DOJ OIG investigation and communications with Larry McGee. For the reasons stated below, the defendant's motion should be denied. Background. On or about November 22nd, 2019, BOP staff at the Metropolitan Correctional Center became aware that a YouTube blogger known as Tasha K revealed information relating to Kelly's prison visits and communications with his girlfriends while being housed at the MCC. Okay. Okay, so there's an exhibit. It says agents from the Department of Justice, Office of the Inspector General, began investigating and searched the internet to obtain further information about what Tasha K disseminated on YouTube and other social media platforms. OIG learned that between November 7, 2019 and January 12, 2020, Tasha K posted or discussed the following information on social media platforms. One, a photograph that depicted Kelly's visitation list. Two, content from a phone call involving Kelly and two women with whom he was in a romantic relationship at the time. And three, emails between Kelly and one of those women dated November 11, 2019 and November 14, 2019. So far, nothing that would affect the verdict of a case. Let's keep reading. OIG also collected materials from BOP, namely BOP TrueView system logs that indicate the date and time that a BOP employee accessed records from the system, as well as the identity of the inmates whose records were accessed. These logs show which inmates' records a BOP employee access, but do not provide further specificity, regarding which records within that inmate's file were accessed. I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm trying to see if I can get into my True View. Hold on, because I got True View as well. Hold on. I ain't gonna pull up shit, but okay. All right, sorry about that. Okay. OIG reviewed system logs for the period from July 15, 2019 through January 8, 2020 and learned that 60 BOP employees accessed Kelly's TrueView records. BOP employee Officer A accessed Kelly's record during that period, but Officer A was not assigned to the MCC and thus was not authorized to access Kelly's records during that period. OIG obtained Officer A's personnel file. OIG also reviewed the subset of email communications that Officer A sent or received from Officer A's official BOP email address, which existed on the BOP network. OIG compared the date, time, and content of the information regarding Kelly and that Tasha K disclosed with TrueView logs and emails from Officer A's BOP email account and determined that Officer A accessed Kelly's inmate records on or around those same dates and times. On or about February 27, 2020, OIG, in connection with the United States Attorney's Office, applied for and obtained a warrant to search Officer A's desktop computer for the material identified in the search warrant attachment. Kelly now requests this, hold on, where's my drink? This court to order the government to disclose to him specified information from the OIG's separate investigation. This information, however, is sensitive and unrelated to the instant case. The requested information includes the following. Now, when they talk about the instant case, they're talking about the case that was going on in Illinois. Okay. Officer A's personnel file, BOP TrueView system logs reflecting access data and employee information of at least 59 BOP employees, none of whom are suspected of disclosing Kelly's information. Email communications that Officer A sent or received from Officer A's official BOP email address, and materials resulting from the search of Officer A's BOP computer. Kelly claims without support that all the materials OIG collected during its investigation likely constitutes Brady information. Kelly does not cite a single supporting case, and he does not identify how this information is relevant to the allegations at issue in this case, such as his alleged sexual abuse of minor girls in the 1990s and the alleged cover-up that followed. Stop right there. This is what I said before I got here. Okay? What I said was the information, the emails, the contents of them emails and all of that has to be related to the case. It has to support a verdict out of either of innocent or guilt. You talking shit to your girlfriends or whatever, that's not relevant. Remember the 3 R's, right? Kelly's motion tethered on only by Kelly's unsubstantiated speculation to this case should be denied. Argument. Kelly argues that he is entitled to OIG's investigative materials because the information that Tasha K disclosed about him was apparently shared with a supposed government cooperator named Larry McGee. Larry, little ass. The government has a duty to disclose any information in its possession that is favorable to the defense and material either to guilt or punishment. Right? That's Brady. Information favorable to the defense include evidence which would tend to exculpate, the defendant or reduce penalty, and evidence regarding the reliability or credibility of a government's witness. See Giglio, okay? Giglio and Brady is what? Exculpatory evidence, right? But here, Kelly's speculative and deficient claims do not fall within these perimeters. I don't know why I can't talk to that. Kelly claims that an individual named Larry Little Ass received Kelly's visitation list, phone calls, or emails with his girlfriend. but this is pure conjecture. Kelly fails to provide any confirmation of when or how Mr. McGee, Larry Lass, received any of Kelly's information or what specific information Mr. McGee allegedly received. Moreover, even if Mr. McGee had received such material, Kelly fails to articulate how Kelly's visitation list or phone calls constitutes Brady material that would tend to exculpate him. But in any event, Kelly knows who visited him and with whom he talked on the phone to the telephone, talked on the telephone, and as such, the information is already in his possession. So let me stop right there. They are simply saying, because there is also a little clause, not a clause, but if the information that, how I put this, okay, say they're saying that the prosecution, they're trying to say that the prosecution had a Brady violation because they didn't turn over information that is favorable to the defendant. If the defendant also knows that information and don't turn it over to their attorney, then that is a defense that the prosecution can use as they are using it here, right? It says says suppression. It says the Seventh Circuit of 2008 suppression of exculpatory or impeaching evidence required to be disclosed to the defendant pursuant to Brady does not occur when the defendant could have discovered it himself through reasonable diligence. Okay, just what I just said, but they said it in a fancy way. So if, like I said, if he already knows this stuff, it's not going to constitute a Brady violation. So this shit goes into the weeds. I'm saying this is that's why the defense team knows all of this. That's why I think that this is a small part of a bigger argument with regards to due process, constitution violation, which is constitution violation and all of that, right? It's a big argument here. I really don't have to go. Well, I can go some further. It says Kelly speculates that Mr. McGee has provided cooperation in the instant case because Kelly claims McGee has publicly bragged about providing government assistance to, and McGee himself has publicly taken credit for turning various witnesses into government witnesses in the Kelly prosecution. Mr. McGee has not before and is not now cooperating in the instant case. Mr. McGee will not be called by the government as a witness in this case. The government has not interviewed him in connection with this case. The prosecution team in the instant case is not privy to whatever cooperation Mr. McGee has provided in other federal cases in other districts. The screenshot Kelly includes in his motion for what appears to be a social media site does not establish that Mr. McGee cooperated in the instant case. The screenshot shows a January 2022 email exchange. Now, hold on, right? Now, although they're talking about the instant case at that time, which was the Illinois, I still believe that they're using this email thing or whatever, this email argument for the appeal for New York. Okay, that would make sense. Here in Illinois, it has already been shot down, and I'm trying to think, would it even have a bearing on this case? Because I think that I don't know whether he was in Illinois or New York when I don't know if an appeal when she does an appeal for this particular Illinois case, she probably can use this again, as part of her, you know, uh, defense of the Constitution violations. But I don't know. It says Mr. McGee emailed AUSA Angel Kroll a message which The screenshot does not contain, and Mr. Crow responded, "Thank you for sending this." The screenshot includes entries from the Grown Man Show. The government is aware of one of the emails from the sender, the Grown Man Show. In Kelly's screenshot, the email is an unsolicited message regarding material that is not relevant or to nor at issue in this case. Specifically, in the email, the sender posts screenshots of posts from a Kelly supporters blog discussing how others can support Kelly on social media. The email exchange does not establish that Mr. McGee provided substantive information to the prosecution team. Kelly also makes vague references in his motion to Officer A influencing witness testimony. But Kelly does not. Oh, here we go with the witness testimony shit. Boy, we getting to it, baby. We gets to it over here, baby. We gets to it. We gets to it. Where it come from? Where it came from? Okay, let me start over. Kelly also makes vague references in his motion to Officer A influencing witness testimony. But Kelly does not identify how, when, where, when, or what government witness in this case Officer A allegedly influenced. Officer A is not a witness in this case. Ain't that some shit? That stuck out to me on that call. I wrote that down and went over it. Oh, boy. Boy. What else? Did I miss anything else I wrote down? Okay. Kelly misstates in his motion the contents of the affidavit submitted in support of the search warrant for Officer A. BOP's computer. For example, Kelly purportedly quoting the affidavit states in his motion that the OIG investigation was open to investigate the potential crimes of bribery, fraud, theft, narcotic, narcotics trafficking, money laundering, ethics violations, there we go, and other official misconduct. But the affidavit language Kelly references is in the section describing the affiant's training and experience about the types of cases he investigates, not the crime under investigation by the OIG. Kelly also states in his motion that the investigation revealed that Officer A sold information to Tasha K. The affidavit also, however, does not conclude, let alone mention that Officer A sold anything anyway. Wait a minute. What would that? Did he write this? Did J-Bo write this? Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Hold on now. Wait a minute now. Hold on. Let me look on this other document because I know damn well the hell wrote this. Hold on. Let me see if they tell the truth. Because like I said, all the time, what's placed in these motions, they're just an argument. It's not, doesn't necessarily mean that it's supported truth. I'll put it like that. So let me see. Okay, it is in this document. It says, I'm back on the original document. Wait a minute, am I? Hold on. Yeah. It says, while defendant was detained in the Chicago MCC, the Department of Justice of the Inspector General opened an investigation into potential criminal violations committed by one or more of the BOP officers, including potential crimes of unlawful disclosure of sensitive government information, bribery, fraud, narcotics trafficking, money laundering. Who wrote this down? Hold on, who prepared this? Sorry, y'all. I get. Hold on. Who prepared this shit? Huh. That's crazy. Okay, that's hilarious shit. I'm sorry, y'all. You know I got distracted by this. Hold on. But there it is. Uh-huh. A minute. Hold on. So this is prepared. I'm coming, y'all. I'm trying to see who prepared this. Oh, J-Bo prepared it. Oh. Well, I don't want to read. Oh, I'm sorry, Levi. You done been here, honey. You better
I'm
say
fine.
something. Oh Lord, you
I'm
better say
fine.
something. Cause baby,
I'm
I done
fine.
got thrown off. Look, I done closed out of it.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to read no more of that. Yeah, okay, y'all. Well, it's
Very
good.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very informative. And it speaks to your legal acumen that you would go back and look at the actual documents being thorough. I'm not going to be long, but I want to say something
Oh, you good. You always good.
that I have had so many in depth conversations concerning this with my cousin directly, Robert. And I tell you, man, I was kind of getting a little upset when I was listening to you read the judge's response. Um, you know, excuse my language, but this social media shit has all this YouTube shit has all but destroyed Robert. Totally destroyed him. I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Excuse me. You know, that argument as it pertains to the illegal accessing or acquisition of the his records from the Bureau of Prisons, it is a very strong argument legally, as I've explained it to him from my vantage point. However, to clear something up, because you asked a very sincere question. You said, well, how does this factor in earlier, about 20 minutes ago? And I'll say this, that we must first understand that all of his cases hinge on females, those so-called victims, testifying against him. In the early Lifetime documentary developmental stage, there's video footage that you can access of Dream Hampton talking about it after it had been created. And in her delivery, when she's speaking about it, she said, you know what is so interesting? She said, is that every female that we interviewed asking them about R. Kelly, after they sat in rooms for hours interviewing with us on camera, saying some of the things that were very abusive in the eyes of most, she said, I specifically asked each and every one of them, do you want to see him go to prison? And she said it was a resounding 100% no. All she said, every single one of them said no. Now, when you consider how that no, that sentiment of, well, the nigga might have slapped me, I know the nigga was a hoe. The nigga might have had us doing some freaky shit. But at the end of the day, I don't think it warrants or he deserves to go to fucking prison. The question becomes, how do we go from that to Lizette and all of them saying, like sister, and I say sister, Javante Cunningham, I've never disrespected her. I like her as a person. I really do. And she'll tell you, I've never disrespected her. Every conversation that I've had on Larry's show, every time I address Javante Cunningham, I speak to her from a legal perspective, but I never attack her and I never disrespect her. However, how do we go from, no, I don't want to see him go to prison, to now tear that ass up, as Javante Cunningham said, lock his ass up. Everybody's saying 30 years ain't enough. That's a hell of a leap. That's a quantum leap. To go, listen, Miss Walker, I got some ex-girlfriends that'll tell you Levi was a hoe. Levi, let me tell you something, that nigga had a drifting eye.
Oh, no.
But when they weigh my good attributes, if I had it, they'll tell you he was hoish, but if he had it, we had it. I had it. Me and my kids had it. He was hoish, but he was very respectful to my mother. He was very respectful to my child or children. He was, without a doubt, a hoe. But he hoed on the other side of town. He did not sleep with the girl next door or someone I knew. He was an ethical hoe. So for that reason, he ain't shit. There's that black bald head motherfucker ain't worth shit. But at the same time, I can see him. Some of them call me right now. How you doing? What's going on, babe? They're not going to have that vitriol in them because of how you do what you do. And Robert, I'm not digressing. Robert's personality, shit, I've been mad at the nigga for over a year, like a year. I ain't speaking to this nigga no more. When that nigga smile and call you and you see that nigga and he start laughing, you forget it about all of it. So I understood when I heard the sister, I think her name was Ebony, when she says, she just broke out crying and says, shit, I still love him. Like, I love him. You know,
Yeah.
This is a woman saying a man pushed him down the goddamn stairs. But I still love him. Like, I love him though. God, she's like, damn, I still love this nigga. That's Robert. Not saying that he pushed her down the stairs, but the problem with Lifetime is that, and I'm not digressing, is that they'll take out the part when I ran to him and start hitting him in the face and attacking him. He pushed me back and grabbed my shoulders and I fell down the stairs. They'll clip all that shit and edit it as if he just walked in and said, what you doing? And grabbed her by her shoulders and pushed her down some damn stairs, the same way they edited what Rihanna had done to Chris Brown. Now, Chris Brown socked her, I believe, in the eye, but he's a little dude. You know, Rihanna from the island, strong as a motherfucker. Now, most men would have grabbed her. Like, you know, you've had women swinging on you as men, and you just grab them. Like, hold on. You put your chest right in their chest and hold on, shit. And you think of, hey, Miss Walker, then you think of an escape route now. If I push this motherfucker back, how the fuck I'm going to get out of here? But you don't hit a woman. I understand that, but let's not leave out what Rihanna did by attacking him in that little ass sports car. Like, she attacked him in a little sports car. He being small, Chris Brown might have said, shit, she about to fuck my throat up, ruin my career, knock my eye out. So, you know, I don't agree with it or condone it. Now, getting back to my point. When we consider that all of those women, according to Dream Hampton, said, no, I don't want to see him go to prison. Then we go from now them saying, give him life, double life, triple life. That tells you, or it should say to the most rational-minded person, that after they're making their assessment on what other women have said, and some of them did find out. While this thing was unfolding in court and on Lifetime, a lot of them found out, like, God damn, that nigga was screwing her too. I didn't even know she existed, or I asked him about her. I didn't know he was screwing her too. So now we cross over a threshold where you have scorned women. So that argument that Ms. Bonjean put forth, which was not legally articulated correctly, I don't believe, but to answer your question, it is a question of this. And I always, Ms. Walker, if you notice my debate style and how I analyze things, I like to put the shoe on the other foot. And that is this. If the prosecutors, now everyone is aware of the fact that Tasha K has from day one been anti-R. Kelly. Let's just say the BOP we know is a separate entity, a part of the government, but it is a separate entity. However, the prosecutors and the Justice Department relies on the BOP to administer their rulings, and they can be easily perceived as an arm, a second arm, or a first arm of the Justice Department. They work closely with one another. They execute what the courts render. The decisions that they render, the BOP executes it. So let's put the shoe on the other foot. Let's just say half of those women who had sat on lifetime, the ones who did testify, we'll just say Rashona, Azriel, and a couple of more, were like, no, I'm not going to testify against them. The nigga ain't shit, but I'm not going to try to see him locked up. Let's just say the prosecutors said, I tell you what, a couple of the prosecutors are sitting having a late dinner. They sitting sipping some wine and say, I know what we're going to do. We're going to have, you still know that BOP officer, such and such, yeah. Have her release his ingoing, outgoing calls, emails, as well as who's putting money on his books to the grown man, to the Oak Cove show. Because I know that those alleged victims watch Grown Man. They watch the Little Grown Boy show. So a grown boy goes on and says, oh shit, I know who puts money on R. Kelly's books. I know who he's still talking to. He's still talking to this one. He's still talking to that one. And then once Joycelyn sees this, once Rashona sees this, they say, ain't that a bitch? Y'all saw it in the movie Goodfellas. Oh, yeah, in Goodfellas. You saw it in the movie Goodfellas when the woman was coming to visit old boy, and she looked on the visitation list in the movie Goodfellas when he was locked up. My man had just died. What's his name, Miss Walker? Hell of an actor.
Ray
Liotta. He was a hell of an actor. She looked on the visitation list. She was smuggling in shit, pills and shit for this nigga in prison. When she saw that other woman's name on that visitation list, and she sat there in that room with him, she said, so you still fucking with her, huh? And started pulling out the pills and the damn liquor. Well, get that bitch to smuggle this shit in. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing? It's the exact example of what my cousin is saying. When a nigga is locked up, a lot of his secrets come out now because he's not there to tell that woman, oh man, she talking crazy. I ain't go over there. She wanted, niggas love to say she wanted to screw me. She wanted me to fuck her, but I didn't. When a nigga's locked up, he don't have that control. He doesn't have that. When I say control, he doesn't have an ability to refute. So that was it is a sound legal argument that an arm of the courts, the BOP, would release information that could have influenced any of those young ladies, causing them to say, you know what, fuck that nigga, like y'all heard Azriel say to him on the recording when she said, if you make it to trial. She said, I feel sorry for you. If you even fucking make it to trial. Meaning what? Nigga, I want you dead, basically. I hate you so much. You tell a motherfucker that's locked up that loves you or says he loves you, and now you get him in that kind of situation, and you say to him, if you make it to trial, nigga, meaning what you did to me, no, you lied to me. No, you lied to me. So good luck. If you make it to trial, good luck, goodbye. while he's crying on the other end of the goddamn phone. That is a woman who is upset with a man because she found out about another woman or other women. That's common goddamn sense. Now herein lies the problem, y'all. This shit y'all be hearing about, I am the only one that's authorized to speak with Robert shit. Fuck. Listen, man, I'm gonna cool. I'm gonna be cool because I could say some things, but I'm sick of this shit. There's no such thing as a motherfucker being authorized to speak to a goddamn prisoner. The person who is authorized to speak to the prisoner is the motherfucker that the prisoner calls. And the only restriction on that is that he can't call no goddamn convicted felons. Y'all hear them sirens? They might be going for the terrorists, right? Goddamn. Now listen to me. Hear the sirens? I'm so sick of this clout chasing bullshit. I'm so sick of, I know R. Kelly, you don't. He doesn't know R. Kelly. That's not his cousin. He never met R. Kelly. He's a dick. He's a dick. That fucking clout chasing celebrity bullshit has all but ruined him. But let me be clear on something. What you just read as it relates to the court's response, the judge's response to what was submitted was called
the prosecutor's response.
The prosecutor's response. It's called when putting the 10 on the 2 goes wrong. I've always said to my cousin, and he understands it. He said it back to me, like, as long as what you're saying is sound and truthful, no holes, airtight. Exactly. I've said that to him from day one, and he said it back to me, and we agree. Tell the truth now. Don't be putting nothing on the table that can be refuted or easily broken down or discarded through argument. Let's test Levi for a minute. Let's test Levi. Because, Ms. Walker, I'm going to tell you, I get so upset with these people on YouTube because they're not used to a motherfucking ethical stand-up ass nigga. They're not used to, most of these women especially are not used to a man saying what he's saying, meaning what he mean, being a goddamn man, being a father to his children, being a stand-up ethical, moral motherfucker. They're not used to it, and I understand it. What did I just say? I said, if I'm going to fuck around on my old lady, ain't going to be with the woman across the street. At least, Ms. Walker, at least I'm going to go on the other side of town. Okay, so you got to say he ain't shit, but he ethical. He got some rules to him. Now, when you put the 10 on the 2, or the 2 on the 10, now you're throwing extra shit in there. So when that prosecutor in their response says there is, I'm paraphrasing, no evidence that Larry McGee provided us with anything pertaining to no motherfucking text messages, that prosecutor would be damn near fired, sanctioned, reprimanded. His or her stock would go down in the court system if they were to put some shit like that on record and it's not true. He or she, I believe, said emphatically, Larry McGee did not provide us with anything pertaining to text messages derived from Tasha K or the BOP employee. Now stop it. Now you just shot the whole goddamn thing down. Now, the courts is not going to take what you have presented with a high degree of credence because you've put the goddamn 2 on a 10. You've overdone it. Something that I never do. Check my track record. When spitting fire asked me 2.5, 3 years ago, do you believe that Angelo Clary sold his daughter? What did I say? I said, no, I do not. You know why? I didn't have no goddamn evidence of that. And I'm a goddamn father. So I'm not going to sit here and say some shit that I don't have proof of. But guess what? When the text messages came out, you saw Levi call it how he saw it. Well, goddamn, I was wrong. There was a nefarious component in this shit. But when you are an ethical person, you don't put the 10 on the 2 or the 2 on the 10. You call it how it is. So what we have, the reason why I said I'm so goddamn sick with social media, sick of this shit, with this YouTube shit, we have a woman who has a fucking X to grind against Larry McGee. So you couldn't just tell the story and say, look, Tasha K took the emails. Yes, Tasha K admitted that she gave them to Angelo and Tim. The acquisition of the emails was absolutely illegal from my vantage point. But in addition to that, that which she was given and when she displayed and disseminated that information on her show, it did in fact could have. There's a high probability it affected the outcome of his situation because the witness at the time was straddling the fence. And after that information came out, she definitely decided to go full steam, cutthroat after this nigga to the point where she said, if you make it to trial, nigga die. You could have left it right fucking there. But when you have an extra grind over this YouTube shit and you put the 10 on the 2 and you got to add shit to it because you don't like Larry McGee, he pays a motherfucking price for that. Because Robert has to pay a goddamn price for that. Something that I would never do. When I talk about the terrorist and his attorney's association with the terrorists, show me one spot, one place where I have embellished or exaggerated or sensationalized their connection with the goddamn terrorists. My documents are legally and truthfully sound to the best of my knowledge. This is how I fight for my cousin. But this goddamn YouTube shit, they looking at that shit saying, this man ain't gave us no damn emails from Tasha K. And they're so bold that they can go right and respond to it and said, we never received nothing from Larry McGee. So then you have Tasha K. If you listen to her, I'm going to say this and I'm done. Talking to the other Tasha, whatever, Latasha lady, excuse me, she didn't even know what the fuck she was talking. Tasha K didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. He wasn't even indicted. When he was in jail for taxes. Just crazy shit. Just nigga shit. No, that's called it's nigga shit. Cause white people at least know what the fuck they talking about when they tear your ass up. They're very analytical and they're very detailed and precise when they tear your ass up. Niggas just do shit off the cuff. Niggas just do. Now, how the hell you gonna come on here to defend yourself with this lady, but you talking about the man was in jail for taxes when the shit hit? Come on, man. And in closing, that interview between the two Tashas became a fucking love fest because the other Tasha just wanted notoriety, clout to say, wow, I'm going to get Tasha K on my show. This is why I say I can't fuck with YouTube and social media. It is because if you listen to that interview, when Tasha K asked her, had you been sent the emails, would you had put them out? She didn't say shit. Because she was kissing Tasha K's ass. And you could send this to her. Because I know the woman that spoke to her spoke bad about me and lied on me. But the motherfucker can't lie on me because I got it all. I know how they play this shit. They want to discredit, lie on motherfuckers. And I know she said she spoke to that woman for 2.5 hours. I know I was a part of that goddamn conversation. But they can't fuck with me. You know why? Because I have not done anything to damage my cousin. They have. Listen, that woman at the end of that interview wanted to tongue kiss. They might as well have been tongue kissed. So you're going to come on my show? Yes, I'm coming on your show. But when it came down to the real fucking questions being answered, she relented. She says, she didn't even answer the question. All she had to say was, no, in the fuck, I'm going to put some confidential federal government information out that's sent to me, at least without going to an attorney and, you know what I'm saying, like, can I do this? But Tasha K said she ain't give a fuck. She said, I ain't give a fuck, right? So when you look deeper into it, Tasha K is not a journalist, y'all. The woman sitting there talking on a mic is not a journalist. Wendy Williams had journalistic leanings, but because she was a smear woman, she, you know, like the National Choir got journalists and shit working for her, but they got journalistic abilities, but their job is to smear. But what we have here is a situation where, if y'all remember when Facebook first came out, niggas was on Facebook posting their car, posting what they eat, coming on. Okay, fine. It's called Facebook. Here's my face. Here's me. This how I'm living. This, that, and the third. A nigga could be living in the projects and go to someone else's house and take pictures. Okay, that's, you know how it goes. Well, YouTube is the evolution of Facebook. With niggas, it is where niggas can now go on YouTube with a fucking Obama phone and a goddamn Gmail account and say, I'm a journalist. Sitting there eating chicken, can't even fucking say the word, can't spell journalist. I'm a public figure. Got 75 people watching you. So now you become someone of note in your mind. In your mind. YouTube, Miss Walker. I asked myself I woke up the other day, I was thinking, I said, damn, what was the difference between his 2008 trial and what we've seen over the last year or so? And I said, yep, social media. Social media. Social media was not prevalent back then. You feel me? It wasn't, prominent back then. It so with social media, these people came on and actually thought that they, in their minds, were protest organizers. They really thought journalists. They asked people to come on their shows for interviews. Don Russell goes on this show, that show, and you see two ignorant ass people in front of a goddamn computer or a cell phone having a fucking conversation, but it passes off. I got to call it what it is. I was trying to have a decent conversation with the man on Phases. Everybody remember that. I wasn't attacking that man. He started calling me bitches and hoes and fuck you, nigga. All I was trying to tell the people is that my cousin wasn't fucking with him like that and did not have an extensive past with him. So when I started talking, he told Faith, get this faggot. He called me a faggot, this faggot motherfucker. You feel me? But I still didn't get upset because I knew the truth. I knew his role with my cousin was just what Will Eady described. Some crazy, with Amos Walker, it was some weird shit, Mm-hmm. So all this weirdo stuff, man, it's all but ruined him. That's all I wanted to say. If you had a question, I'll answer it, but that's all I wanted to say, Club.
So, let me ask you a question. Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying that the email situation is relevant to this case because it, due to the exposure of them, it could have caused one of the Azrael, let's just say who it was, to flip, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now,
to have a change of heart. And if you look at that documentary, if you look at what I think what Shabazz did, when you look at when she says, "Get me the FBI on the phone," them motherfuckers got on jets. They got on jets to fly to her because she was not what you would call an insignificant federal witness. They needed her as their star witness, her being around Rob for those 5 years or whatever, and that's who they needed. So if those text messages in any way were influential in her having a change of heart, such to the extent that she's upset, such to the extent that she's scorned, you may have a different kind of, or you may now have a federal witness. So from a legal perspective, but at the end of the day, it's just everything. All of it's the same, Miss Walker. all of it is the same. The same. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You saying it's awesome because here's where the legal part where it. Let me explain this. Okay, just say if just say perhaps if the feds say, hey, we're gonna release these emails and what have you to sit back and see what happens, and if they play it right and the anticipated results happen, that's legal, right? They do it all the time.
Hold on. Let's back up. I
Yeah.
should have said something else too.
Okay.
Also, the assertive suggestion that Tasha K purchased the emails that was shot down. You heard Tasha K say, "I ain't buy no damn emails." So you can't just put shit in court documents that you don't have 100% proof of.
Right.
But however, when you say it is legal, I want to be clear. Are you telling me that let's do it like this, as Young Thug sits in lockup, which is the Georgia Federal Bureau of Investigation, the GBI, whatever, same thing. They help them, assist them. So, are you trying to tell me that Young Thug's conversations, who's putting money on his books, who he's emailing and who's emailing him, cannot have any bearing or outcome of those witnesses or potential witnesses in Young Thug's case?
In the
If
sense,
if
now,
if if it
go
were
ahead.
released to the public, if it were released to the public, I should have said that.
Okay, so let's take it from the standpoint what you're talking about. It flipped. This saying, what this said, it contributed to flipping Azrael, right?
Yes, yes.
It is completely legal as long as yes, as long as the actions taken does not is not considered prosecutorial misconduct. It is legal. You can't you can't put a gun to nobody's head and make them that's of course that is considered that's more than prosecutorial misconduct, okay? But if you said let me tell you something. You can come in on an investigation and lie to somebody. You an officer of the court, you that work for the popo, you can come in an investigation and lie, and if it gets the intended results, that is legal. I know it's
Theoretically,
confusing.
no, it's fine, and I love that. See, when I be going, oh my God, whenever I go, it's because I'm like, damn, I gotta run another damn 20 damn miles. In other words, you feel me? When you see me in
Yeah.
the ring going, whoo, I'm thinking debate wise, like this person's hard to beat. You feel me? So that's
Mhm.
when I huff and puff. People mistaking it. However, I'm gonna do some research on that, but I'll tell you this much that it's interesting to me when they said the prosecutors came and said that Rob had passed off a letter to his attorney that made it into the court documents that he violated and somehow circumvented the BOP protection process where anything that goes in and out of the BOP is supposed to be scrutinized. So they cited that. So while I understand what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you because I have not researched it, I will say that what I've said to you from day one, my understanding of the Constitution and due process and that which is a part of that entire edifice, if you will, or that apparatus what comes with the Justice Department, is that it's supposed to be a thorough process from beginning to end. Anyone who I just can't go visit Rob and take a goddamn 9mm in there. They're gonna search me, and they're going to rely on the laws outside of the BOP for searching me. I can't leave out and say they searched me because I had a legal gun on me and I'm going to sue them. No, that's the law. You feel me? They have to search you. They have to scrutinize what goes in and comes out. So I think theoretically, you're right. But all theories can be challenged. And I would have to do some research, which I'm going to do.
Right.
And I understand. I think a lot of what you're saying is based on culpability, which is, I think. Tell me, correct me if I'm wrong. That if this BOP officer chose to violate um, his or her job capacity, just violate and say fuck it, that would not have any bearing on Rob's situation or his case. Um, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Because when you're talking about releasing the emails and whatever, based on the contents of what they say was in there, all right, you have to kick it down to the next level. And the ending of those levels will be, would the content have any bearing on the results of the case? Would it have? And now that it's in, since it, and they look at those type of, those little quirks, don't come out all the time, but it comes out here and there. It's a process that happens before a trial, during a trial, and after a trial. If something like that happens after a trial, they have to look at, would the contents of whatever was revealed, would that have a bearing on the outcome of the case? So usually it's normally the person that loses that, when prosecutors can't appeal, but
Well,
go ahead.
yes, ma'am. In this case, definitely, it definitely had a bearing, I believe, and there was a potential for it having some influence on the case. Now, if you and I were in court and I was arguing your point to a jury of 12, I would simply say, while what you're saying may be theoretically sound, the reality of it is that emails, text messages, who puts money on books, everything. When that prisoner walks into the Bureau of Prisons, he becomes a property of either the government or the state. So, just as you may argue its weight of will it affect the case, I would say to a jury, well, that means anyone who has been caught on a phone talking, as they monitor that shit, anyone that has sent the email instructing someone to intimidate a witness or anything of that sort, they should be exonerated from that. That charge should be removed, because what goes in and out of the BOP should not have any bearing on the outcome of a case, but it has to be the kind of door that swings both ways. If what the inmate does on the inside, if he's doing something that the prosecutors feel may be damaging to their case or may be threatening to their witnesses and potential witnesses, they're going to use it to fuck him up, then it should swing the other way also, meaning anything that he may disseminate or in his conversations, or who's putting money on his books, if that gets out and it damages him, or there's a potential that it may damage him in his favor, now the prosecutors want to say, well, those are just emails, those are just this. But if those emails were instructing Levi to go do some shit to one of the witnesses, then Levi's ass would be locked up and his charges would have been superseded. Now, am I making any
You're
sense?
making yourself you're making yourself clear, but you got to understand, it all depends on what's in the emails. Okay. Now, the only thing that you're saying is that, hey, it caused her to testify. Well, check this out. She was already in there, regardless whether she testified or not. She could have been made to testify by subpoena. You know,
And play,
she,
play at the
what
fifth.
I'm saying? It could have been a whole gamut of reasons, and it's not just my position whether or not what was revealed would have any bearing on it. The judge weighs that. The judge and above, the judge, the appellate court, whatever. That's one of the final questions they're asked. If it's not the final question, that's how they base their determination. Would it have made a difference in the case? What was revealed? Not that it caused someone to react, because they all know you do just like in interrogations or whatever. You know, you trying to get somebody to flip on the other. You go in there and say, yeah, you know your boy over there telling everything y'all done did. And if you put together, just say you say, okay, well, you said, well, I found a shirt by the tree that's by the pond. So I'm gonna say the body is in the pond because I got the shirt. I'm not gonna tell them I got the shirt, but I'm gonna say, yeah, your boy told us that y'all put the body in the pond.
Yes.
Yeah, your boy said you did this, whatever. I'm just simply on the spot putting some shit together to
Okay.
make them flip. So yeah, that's the
I think
object.
I think I have a perfect example of what we're discussing here. Do you remember the movie
Okay.
Casino? I always use movies as
Yep.
analogies. When they walked up to Robert De Niro towards the end and showed him pictures of Joe Pesci and his wife kissing and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave him the envelope and he opened it up, and they said, "You're gonna protect a man like this." You know, Robert De Niro was hurt, but he put the pictures back in there and said, "Go." Now, was that illegal what they did to trying to get him to flip on Joe Pesci? Was it unethical? Was it illegal? Yes, what you tell me.
That was from the let me see, from the mob standpoint of probably unethical.
No, no, not him
Oh,
screwing
that
his
was
wife.
I thought that was the cops. That was cops. No,
Yeah,
that was
for
legal.
the
That
feds
was legal.
to show him the
Yep.
pictures.
Yeah, that's legal. That's
But was
legal.
it well? Okay, it was legal, but was it dirty? Was it dirty ball?
Not in the not when it comes to the law. No.
No, no, hold up, hold up. Now check this out. Let's just say that the pictures when they were surveilling him, he was telling her, "Look, that man loves you." He was trying to talk to her about staying with Robert De Niro, and at the end, they got out and he hugged her, kissed her on the cheek, and they took pictures of that shit, giving Robert De Niro the impression that he was fucking his wife, trying to get him to flip on him. Would that be unethical in your sight?
That would be personally, that would be if I'm on the other side of the track, that's unethical. But it's
Thank you.
perfectly legally, it's legally it's there's nothing illegal about it. You got to understand they have a certain range that they can go. You can go up to the line of misconduct, but you just can't cross it. You know, and
Right.
it's certain things in there you can I can uh fuck that just you don't even have to go through all that. I think if I'm not mistaken, let me see what the book says. You can put some shit together that ain't true and show it to somebody. They flip out
Exactly.
and you get your answer. Hey,
Okay.
your
Now
work is done. The work,
you just said something that most people don't know. You just said something that most people are not aware of. And this is what I mean about these kinds of conversations. That when it's educational and informative, you really learn some shit. Here's the deal. You just said it all when you said there's a certain line you can't cross. So even with their plants, their informants, the people they put into the mob, and those individuals, they can't not just kill somebody because you know what I'm saying.
right,
But
right.
they and they have, trust me, you know. But however, it I always use movies. So if you look at Donnie Brasco, when he came to talk to his superior, the way he was talking, the superior said, "Wait a minute, goddamn, you're playing this role too damn good. You love the motherfuckers. You really
Mhm,
think you?"
right.
He said, "Look, you cannot go back around them at all. I'm taking you off the case." He said, "What are you talking about?" He like, "Yo, you about to kill somebody and shit. You really with these motherfuckers now."
Right.
So that's that line that you just described. Yeah, there's a line you cannot cross. But I'm gonna close by saying this because I gotta go. This is why I believe I am a purist when it comes to the Constitution and when it comes to the law. And I've always approached my cousin's case from that perspective. I am a purist, meaning what? Meaning, I believe that when it is a sterile process and everything is done within the confines of the law, where you're not on the line, you're not tinkering on the line, I believe that defendant is now being put through a process where he or she has what is called rightful due process under the Constitution. But we when we examine what you and I just talked about over the last 20 minutes, and I kept saying, could it be? Would it be? But what if? When the law is followed properly and there are no obvious improprieties, like I always talk about the terrorists and the attorneys sitting on phones and shit with the terrorists. When you follow that ethical, attorney can violate his or her ethics and not violate the law. But the ethics are there as a buffer, I believe, where I've read a lot of ethics reports. I'm real trained in ethics, and it always says seemingly or having the appearance of.
Right.
Having the appearance of. You follow me? It's the appearance. But my cousin's challenge, Miss Bonjean's challenge, is to show where ethics crosses over to illegality. That's all I'm saying. It's going to have it's an uphill battle, and you're right. Based on what you just said, it's an uphill battle, but it must be sound, and it must show where, yes, you're right. The courts can offer some degree of immunity to that DOP officer and make excuses. However, that line of illegality of him being denied his constitutional rights and due process, that is the challenge. But she could never meet that burden. She could never cross that hurdle. She could never scale that wall and climb over that wall, listening to anyone who is prejudiced and those who have an axe to grind against other people because of some goddamn YouTube, if that makes sense to you, Ms. Walker, what I'm saying. When you got a problem with someone, everyone knows I hate the baby killer, I hate the super fan. Y'all know that. But if I allow my emotions when I report on a terrorist to overcloud my thinking, then that will become malicious reporting on these terrorists. I've always been cognizant of that. I don't do that malicious reporting shit. I'm only going to give the facts of what I've seen and what I can substantiate through documents and other forms of evidence. That's all. Now, the malicious shit is street shit. You feel me? That's the streets. Like, okay, you see me, nigga, it's up. You feel me? Yeah, we can get real malicious. But as far as this law thing, nah, I don't believe in it. I don't do it. I extended an olive branch to Team Truth and Oco when no one thought it was fashionable. I received a lot of attacks. But then, after they saw Larry and myself and Angelo and Team Truth, everyone coming over there to watch something that was new, and that is having a civilized debate of thought, noticed something. All of the terrorists, now they wanted to do it. Now they wanted to talk to Larry. And just so y'all will know, that was the rift between me and Larry. Because when I spoke to him, he'll tell you initially, I said, look, I'm about to create something that hasn't been done in this whole R. Kelly thing. We're going to open up these debates. We're going to have them. And we're going to garner a lot of support because people are tired of these damn terrorists. But you must promise me that once we get this train on the track, all those people that's coming at me, fuck them. I would never sit on a panel with them, but Larry chose to. And if anyone remember, I let it be known, like, bro, you fucking with them, I ain't fucking with you on that shit, on the debate shit. You feel me? I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. One time, the dude in St. Louis called in after me and said, oh, y'all gonna be on tonight? Okay, I'm gonna come. And then Larry says, yeah, the guy from St. Louis gonna be here too. I called Larry back on live. Ms. Walker said, did you just say two? Nigga, who gonna be on here with me?
I remember that.
I said, nah, ain't nobody gonna be on this motherfucker with me. You feel me? Because I don't cross them lines. When it's up, it's stuck. I ain't fucking with you. That's it. And I don't care how much you hate Levi. You have to respect that. You ain't never seen me on the panel and having conversations with none of them. I give the lady in San Francisco her props for being woman enough when I would say certain things and when I would pull her coattail. Her hatred, or I ain't gonna say hatred, but her dislike for Levi did not override her ethics and morals in a sense where she said, well, shit, I don't like this nigga, but he telling some facts now. The nigga ain't lying. Some shit, some terroristic shit that I've seen. You feel me?
Mhm.
I gotta go, Miss Walker.
Okay.
Man, when I get on the live with you, I'm trying to tell you, man. I'll be like, I'm gonna just be 20 minutes, man.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's oh man, this is so much. But it just depends on when these issues, when anything, when these objections and stuff arise. If it occurs before the trial, during, and after, it follows different protocols. But
Absolutely,
regardless, if they are saying what the contents of those emails and whatever it was, what it was, um, for them to be, I guess I want to say the attorneys are sanctioning this, but I just can't believe that. But then I go look at that paperwork that was just filed, and damn, the prosecution did say no, y'all quote, and I remember that when I read it the months back, you are taking excerpts from what the investigator said, not what actually, you know, happened or whatever. And then that's why I just stopped reading it. I was like, what the hell wrong?
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I'm so at this point, I'm not sure. Maybe she's sanctioning this. Like I said, but if she is, then this is a part of a bigger, constitution violation, argument. That's where we got to be going with this, because
Yes, ma'am, and you will agree. I think you would agree. In any event, if you can't challenge it legally and put substantive legal arguments on the table, challenging it legally, all the YouTube shit, conjecture. They even think the prosecutor said was conjecture. All that innuendo and all that shit don't mean nothing. And this is what people must understand. That man is being held up legally. So the name calling and Larry McGee is an informant and all that stupid ass goofy shit don't mean nothing if you cannot connect it to any malfeasance in Robert's case. Do you agree with that?
right, you got to connect it to the outcome. If you can't connect
Yes,
it to
ma'am.
the outcome, then the judge is gonna be like, okay, just like, and that's what we'll see, a repetition of when the judges make rulings on, issues such as that. You're going to see that going up into to the higher courts and all of that. They're going to say, hey, well, did it make any bearing on the outcome? Would it have changed the outcome?
Yes,
Knowing
ma'am.
this. If you're talking about some visitation and some phone calls and putting some money on some books, they're going to be looking like, huh? So she
If
got to
that's
have a bigger argument than this.
now we're talking. Now we're talking. Thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm going to continue to listen to your live.
All
And
right, y'all better get off here
to,
in
to
a minute.
hey, to all the terrorists,
Oh,
dress warm, dress warm. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you later, Ms. Walker.
all right.
All right, bye.
Oh, Lord. Man, y'all just as crazy as hell. Oh, that's funny. Levi said, dress warm. Yeah, what's good with it? What's good with it? Are you Capricorn? Shit starting ass Capricorn. So, all right, y'all. Well, you know, I guess we solved some more shit today. Try to put some more stuff in the books. Try to put some more stuff together. I don't know where all this is going, but you know, mm, I don't know. I'm confused now. I'm confused. I done read this shit months ago, but then when it when it reappears and then it enters into the picture in another way, then you got to think about it another kind of way. You're like, what the hell am I reading? So, anyway, yeah, happy birthday, happy birthday. Well, with that being said, I kept y'all on here for 3:32. I'm going to go ahead and go. And nah, I ain't coming on tonight. But I'll see y'all later. If something else should occur and I catch wind of it, whatever, I shall come back. I'll probably still go back to work next week, maybe the week after. I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, y'all have a nice day. Thank y'all for coming on through. And peace out. Hey, Demetra. Peace out. I will holler at you later. Bye. And if the cops come, remember, this is our channel by James Harris. Hell, his ass ain't gonna have his shit together or whatever to tell on our ass or whatever. So shit. By the time James lay out the story to the goddamn feds or whatever, shit, we be long gone. We be somewhere in a country that ain't gonna send our ass back. All right, y'all.